And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'll offer a little hiatus. This is another episode. This is the Sports Cave. Your co-host Robbie, my co-host Zach Ronsack. It doesn't feel
Panama.
It doesn't feel free when I could open as I can because I'll get bitched at for the volume of octaves that I use.
Well, I can open up like that. Let's fucking go. We are back.
Yeah, we are.
We're back.
What the hell are we going to lead off with first? We've been gone for 2 weeks. As everybody should know, last Tuesday was
Canada Day, folks. Happy birthday, Canada.
So Zach celebrated accordingly. Last Friday was Independence
4th
Day.
of July. Happy birthday, USA.
Shout out to the British for losing that war and giving us a day off while they
Pussies.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we're in agreement on that. They definitely...
Boy, they're a bunch of pussies over there.
Sorry.
Car lover. Welcome, brother. Daniel Barry, how are you? We got a few folks in the chat here.
Zachary, could you load up comments yourself? I mean, you know I'm always doing it. Can you do that?
Yeah, yes I can. Wow.
That's the beauty of the power of producing. And I don't know if you saw here, Zachary, this
Try
thing
something
over
out
here.
here.
There's this thing, people, and I can mute you just like that. And I can turn you back up.
Let's
just
see
like
here. Can I show that? Cool. All right. So, yeah, we can, in fact. All right. So it works. If you guys see the word titties, that came from me. So,
I mean,
anyways, folks, Robbie, there is something that I would like to lead off with.
Now, should I hit the bite if I think I know what you're going into?
I think you should hit the bite.
The floor will be yours after the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Roden.
Just gonna start with something here quick, Robbie. Let's get that fucking piece of shit off my wall. Get that piece of shit off my wall. For those of you folks that are unaware, Mitch the Bitch Marner has, I guess, did a sign and trade, signing an 8-year, $12 million a year contract with the Vegas Golden Knights, heading to Las Vegas for the next 8 years. Bye-bye, buddy. See you later. Couldn't care less. Could not care less. So, I mean, the reality has now become reality, folks. Or I guess I should say the questions have now become reality. Is he going to sign back? I don't think anyone thought he was. Where is he going to sign? He signs with the Vegas Golden Knights. I will say this. That team's looking pretty good now. They do have a lot of skill, but they did just gain an absolute pussy. Just an absolute pussy. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can score 160 points in the season. When you don't do fuck all in the playoffs, that's where we got to put our foot down. And, of course, in Mitch Marner style, and I'm not even going to say Vegas style, but there was some tampering rumors going on. Apparently, Mitch Marner at the All-Star break last year was asking Las Vegas players there how it's like to play in Vegas. What's the city like? How are the schools like? The guy already had his bags packed at the All-Star break last year, and you don't allow the team to make a trade for you. It kind of shows the type of person he is, you know? It shows that he's a fucking rat piece of shit. And I hope he never wins anything in the city of Las Vegas. And I would like to say thank you for your time in Toronto, but to be honest with you, no, not too many great memories there. You were great in the season every year. I'll give you that. He stuck shit in the playoffs. Coming back in Toronto's direction for that is forward Nick Roy. I mean, folks, I guess this is the classic trade. You take what you can get. I mean, Roy's not a bad player by any means. He'll be a good third-line guy for us. I think he got about 40 points last year, so a point every 2 games. I mean, you're obviously not going to get the point production like you were getting from Marner, but you might get a guy that's not a pussy in the playoffs, and I think that is this new identity that Toronto needs to try to go after here, Robbie. You can put yourself back on, Robbie. I just wanted to throw that piece of shit jersey off my wall. It is looking a little bit naked right now, though, so... And I know I'm going to miss this guy next year. That's much better. But, Robbie, you have not been a Marner fan for the last couple of years. I'll give you credit where credit is due. You told me a couple of years ago they should move on from him, and I was so blinded. You know what I was like? I was like those horses that do the sprints. I had the fucking blinders on, just constantly looking at the production he puts up in the season. Because I'll tell you one thing right now, Robbie. The guy is a hell of a hockey player. He's just not a playoff hockey player. Yeah. I mean, you know what he's like? He's a perfect all-star game hockey player. He's got the flashy moves. He'll put in a few nice goals. He'll make a few nice passes. But when it comes down to the real aspects of hockey, the grinding in the corners, the finishing your checks, the tenacity, he has, none of them. 0 for 3. Absolutely zippidoo. And it's shown. It's shown in his 7, 8, 9 years in Toronto. Obviously some good memories, but just a lot of bad memories. 2 right off the bat I can think of right now, Robbie. Game 7 against the Boston Bruins last year. Marner lets Pasternak go right by him, pass off the boards, boom, they score in overtime, game over. This playoffs rather. Game 3 against the Florida Panthers. Toronto Maple Leafs up 2-0. I think it was game 3. Playing an unbelievable hockey game. If they win game 3, they probably win the Stanley Cup. And Mitch Marner has one of the most disgusting turnovers I've ever seen in my entire life. Gives Florida all the momentum. They come back and win that game. I'm not going to miss those plays. I am going to miss just the kind of the dream I had of watching this core 4 raise a cup. But at the end of the day, they were unable to get it done. And yes, Marner deserves a lot of the blame, but I'm not putting all the blame on him, Robbie. We've had this discussion. Matthews needs to step the fuck up. Willie was getting the points, but I need Willie Nylander to be a lot more tenacious. The big dogs for this team, now more than ever, need to step up. And they got to deal with the bright lights of Toronto, where a player like Mitch Marner just unfortunately was unable to deal with these bright lights of Toronto, Robbie.
Yeah, man. I just remember not watching hockey at the rate, obviously, that you do. And I just remember watching, I think it was COVID year. I think it was against the Canadiens. And just watching his style of play in the playoffs. And I'm watching all these other guys in the ice just giving all their all. And just like he was kind of doing the basics, or as you said, being a regular season / all-star type player. And when I made that comment, you were very angry. You were like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just new to this. Just shut your mouth. And I was new to it. But the one thing, as you said, I was right. I'm not trying to brag about it. What I'm trying to say is
the rare occurrence.
Hockey is a whole different breed. Hockey, most of these guys that have success in terms of contracts and free agency is based off of their playoff performances. Because Mitch Marner, as you said, is a great talent. 100-point scorer, multiple seasons. Great pass.
Only one.
Was it? I thought 90-something, right?
Yeah, he's always been right there, but he got his first ever 100-point season last year.
So, and there's a lot of risk taking on Marner, because even one of my buddies goes, yeah, I would take on Marner if it was at 7-8 AAV, and here he is getting 12. It's going to be, I think he'll be set up for more success over the Bruce Cassidy in Vegas. However, I'm fine with it. I thought we were going to lose him for nothing. So for us to get a player back, it's like, okay, let's see what we have, because I think we all thought we were going to lose him for nothing.
We got that player back solely that was Vegas trying to stop the Leafs and the league from going at them for tampering charges.
Right. So
that was basically a cover-up job, and I mean, like you said, it's not exactly you're not going to be jumping in the streets parading this guy we got back, but we'll have to wait and see what happens here.
No. I would like to if we got him and maybe a pick, but at the end of the day, we knew Marner was gone. It is what it is. And now someone's going to have to step up. Someone's going to have to be that playmaker to help out Matthews. And Matt Nyes, I don't think is that playmaker. Willie sure isn't that player. JT isn't going to go on the line with Matthews. You need him the second line, or maybe third line at this point. We'll see in his career. Good riddance. Go to hell. And I hope you break both your ankles.
I will say before we move on from this Mitch Marner talk, because he's just making me sick to my stomach.
Drink.
I am a little bit kind of not maybe nervous, but I don't really know what to expect from Matthews next year. Like, obviously the guy's a goal scoring machine, but
at his back.
Well, I'm just I saw some stat on Twitter, and I wish I would have favored it. It was something like 80% of his goals have had a Marner assist. So I'm going to assume we're going to see a little bit of slower production next year. But you know what? Maybe he's going to come back healthy, and maybe he's going to show this league that he's a top player, Robbie, because I'll be honest with you, that was not proven to me this year.
I'll tell you what, this is not a top pour. Look at that.
It's a pretty good pour, actually.
It's all right. I've done better.
I like when there's a nice little amount of foam on top there. It looks like a bar pour.
I should be a bartender, you're saying?
No.
Why?
Well, first of all, how slow it took you to pour that beer, you would.
I'm trying to make sure it's perfect for the customer.
Well, you're going to have many customers who are going to be waiting for their beers.
And then when they taste it, they'll be like, wow, that was a great pour.
It would taste the exact same, though.
I don't like your attitude right now. All right, I don't care how much Mitch Marner hurt your feelings. Don't take it out on me.
Well, Robbie, we can move on from Mr. Mitch Marner.
Thank God. Go Leafs, go. Not to mention, too, Zach, there was nothing to replace him in the free agency, as you alluded to.
No.
And speaking of free agency.
Yeah, so we will let me just pull up this little website I have here. Let's go over some of these big free agency signings here, folks, in the NHL.
Team.
Sorry, what did you say, Robbie?
Why don't we just go over one team?
Well, right there, we just went over. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about them. So obviously, the biggest free agent signing so far was Marner to Las Vegas. But as Robbie's referring to here, we have got to talk about what the Florida Panthers just did, and what they just did was they just bent the entire league over and just shoved their cock in the ass. I mean, they had three big names going into free agency, and everyone's sitting there going, no chance in fuck they get to re-sign all three of these guys. And what do? They re-sign all three of them. I mean, for maybe not so much the Bennett contract. I think that's pretty much where people thought he was going to get. But the Marchand, at least AAV, pretty low. Aaron Ekblad signing for $6.1 million. He could have gotten $8 million. No ifs, ands, or buts on the open market. So he's leaving probably close to $10 to $12 million on the table to stay with Florida. And I mean, they re-sign all three. They get 37-year-old Brad Marchand on a 6-year deal, which that's a little bit crazy, but that's probably just semantics there.
I think they're trying to go for that back-to-back.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to be incredible now. I mean, they already were incredible. They're going to be the same team going in next year. And after next season, Bobrovsky's $10 million comes off the books. And just judging by the contracts these guys are signing, you're going to sign Bobrovsky for like $2 million, for Christ's sakes.
$2 million, you think? You don't think he's
he's going to be 35 years old, so I think he'll get like maybe a 2-3 year deal at, he could probably get $5-6 million for if they wanted to. That's even a generous number. Like, he could probably get more as well just for his catalog he's put together. But the fact that they were able to bring back Sam Bennett 8x8, they bring back Brad Marchand, who's making, I believe, just under $6 million, which is like this guy's whole career.
6 for 32, so that's just a little over 6.
Yeah, so a little over 6, sorry. But I mean, this guy's whole career seems like he's getting underpaid, but he's also a 2-time Stanley Cup winner, and I don't think he gives a flying fuck that the fact that he's made maybe $20-30 million less. You know what I mean? He's still living a very comfortable life. And then
It
you sign Aaron.
makes Paul Bisnet's statement about the state income tax really like catch your eye now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, and then they signed a new. They signed Aaron Ekblad to an 8-year deal at $6.1 million a year. So, I mean, 3 pretty spot on contracts for this fucking Florida Panther team. They're just going to be. They're going to be even fucking better next year because you saw Brad Marchand when he first started playing with the Florida Panthers to what he was like in that fucking Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, the second he got comfortable playing with those guys, it was like, holy fuck, yep, here he is again. This little rat piece of shit.
I hate his
the big goals.
I hate him.
So I mean, huge moves for the Florida Panthers, not allowing any of those guys to free agency. And I mean, it kind of sucked for the fans because free agency was lackluster to say the least. I mean, Marner got dealt before with the sign and trade. Then you got all these Florida guys coming off the board. And it was like a lot of the big questions were answered. And then you had like the biggest names after that were fucking Nikolai Ehlers, who ended up signing in Carolina for an $8.5 million a year contract for 6 years. Just even going through this list, like really no big names. I mean, Leafs didn't do much. That's for damn sure. Wasn't really much available exactly. Robert, we got to talk about this team real quick.
Okay.
I would like to know what kind of crack cocaine Ken Holland in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Kings has been puffing on, Robbie. Some of the most questionable free agent signings I've ever seen in my life. You give Cody Ceci, who is basically a full-on retard wearing skates. There it is. You give Cody Ceci a 4-year deal worth $4.5 million a year, and then you give the fossil Brian DeMolin 3 years at $4 million. That is $8.5 million for 2, probably number 6 defensemen on 99% of the teams in the league. Like, it just ridiculously stupid contracts there. And then you bring in a 40-something-year-old Corey Perry, which, I mean, I actually don't mind that because Corey Perry is still a bit of a gamer, but it's just, to me, it's like, what the fuck was this? Like, this team they were a good team this year, and like moves like this could really set you back for a little bit. I know it's not that crazy amount of money. The cap is going to be flying up soon, but still, just a couple of head scratchers here, Robert.
So, speaking of the cap, I'm going to bring it back to our team just cause. What are we looking like this year with the salary? We have to be under the cap before the season begins, correct?
I believe, yeah. I don't think you're allowed to ever be above the salary cap for the NHL.
Let's see. Go on, and I'll get that answer for you.
Yeah, because I don't even know what the cap would be going into next year, but I think it'd probably be around like $92 million. Would be my guess. But yeah, Robbie, and then really other than that, I mean, just kind of going through these moves. Not really much available. I mean, Brock Besser was supposed to be a big guy coming onto the free agent market, but he ends up re-signing in Vancouver. A lot of the big names ended up just re-signing where they were. Patrick Kane sticking around in Detroit. And then another big one here, Robbie, is there is, in fact, a new core 4 in the NHL, and it is with the Edmonton Oilers now because they have an enormous amount of money locked in between 4 guys. Between McDavid, Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, and now signing Evan Bouchard to a $10.5 million a year contract for 4 years. They have like a $48 million foursome now.
Pause.
I mean, the Leafs have kind of proven it, Robbie, that you can't exactly spend that much money on 4 players and expect these results. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, there's a big difference between us and the Oilers because Draisaitl's a top 5, top 10 player. McDavid is top 1.
Yeah, but their goalie is ranked 32nd. And
that's been their issue for as long as McDavid's been there is their goaltending and their defense.
And another goalie that they could have they've been linked to for a long time is John Gibson, and he ends up getting traded to the Detroit Red Wings for a goalie swap. So he is now off the market, finally out of Anaheim. I feel like his name has been on the trade block for, I swear to God, probably 5 seasons, Robbie. His name has been in speculation.
So next season, Zachary, our Toronto Maple Leafs are projected to have over $27 million in cap space. This figure is based on the current roster and projected cap increases and does not account for potential contract extensions or free agent signings.
So, and next free agency. Now, obviously, these guys are not going to enter free agency, or a lot of these guys, I should say, aren't going to enter free agency. But you have, I believe, Jack Eichel is up for a contract. Connor McDavid's up for a contract. Artemi Panarin's up for a contract. I believe Kirill Kaprizov is up for a contract. We're talking about all-star hockey players here. So next free agency is going to be madness. You can only hope anyways. But besides that, Robbie, I don't really think there's too many more things to talk about besides the fact that, Plouffe, if you are here, the Boston Bruins are making a lot of questionable choices as well. I mean, the Tanner Jeannot one sticks out to me a lot. The guy had a really good rookie season and has been just absolutely terrible ever since, and they signed him to a 5-year deal. I mean, that's got a 1-year deal written all over it for a tester, but it doesn't look like the Bruins are going to be a heck of a team next year, Plouffe. That's all I'm going to say out loud. Sorry.
They're going to be a very, very long rebuild, do you think?
No, not a long rebuild, but you still have David Pastrnak. So, I mean, your team still has a chance to compete. You still have Swayman, who's a good goalie.
Well, is he?
You still have Swayman's a good goalie. You still have Charlie Mack.
Dollar value last year?
What happened?
Did he play to his dollar value last year? I don't think so.
Probably not, but I mean, that's the first year of a contract. I'm not going to write him off. He's
no, of
definitely
course
showing.
Of course not.
They still got Charlie McAvoy back on defense, so they do have some pieces, but it's just that some of the signings they made in this offseason were a little bit strange to me. That's kind of where I was coming from.
Okay.
But Robbie, that's pretty much it for the free agency. One more thing or a couple things I want to go over as well. Edmonton Oilers trying to shed some cap. They trade Victor Arvidsson to Plouffe's. I don't know if it's trade or a sign, actually, but they lose Arvidsson to Plouffe's Bruins. Kind of another weird pickup. He was pretty terrible last year. And they end up trading Evander Kane to the Vancouver Canucks, his hometown team, for a 4th-round pick, trying to shred some cash, obviously, to sign Evan Bouchard, which happened after those. And a big trade for the Montreal Canadiens, who traded the 16th and 17th overall pick, as well as in this year's draft, as well as forward Emil Heineman to the New York Islanders for defenseman Noah Dobson, who then signs an 8-year deal worth $9.5 million a year. Dobson he had a 72 or 70 something point season maybe 2 years ago, so he has shown some bursts of absolute greatness. I believe he's only 25 years old, so he's still pretty young. So big move for the Montreal Canadiens, Robbie. And that right there, my friend, is our NHL talk for this episode of the Sports Talk. Yeah, we have me and Robbie didn't put a disclaimer up here today, folks, but we got a fucking doozy of an episode today, so I tried to purr through that as fast as I possibly could here.
I think you did pretty well, buddy. I think you did the best that you could, and it was pretty good. All right, let's go to the NBA. What do you say?
Yeah, slide it over there.
Lots to talk about.
For three!
It is the NBA on the Sports Cave.
Yeah, suck my dick from the back. We got ourselves NBA free agency now, baby.
There is so much to go over.
I'm going to let you take the realm on this one, Robbie.
I'm going to do my absolute best here, Zachary. Let me go to Shams really quick because a lot happened. I think the most notable one that we have to get into immediately is the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee's going to have a whole different team next year. Let's start off with something light. Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez was linked apparently to the Lakers, but he signed with the Clippers. So whoever out there in LA was given the news about him being linked to Lakers was
wrong team.
News. Brook Lopez is going to the Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. However, they retained Bobby Portis, so Bobby Portis will be their starting center for the future. Wait a second. No, he's not, because I lied. Haha. Because the Milwaukee Bucks sign Miles Turner to a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. And ironically, there was only one way they could do this, Zachary. There was only one way they would be able to have the cap space to bring Miles Turner. And that decision they made was getting rid and moving on from Damian Lillard.
If you guys see me here, I'm waving. because that motherfucker got waived. Reports coming out too, Robbie. The Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, none too pleased by this decision. So,
Could you blame him?
no, I mean, I understand the guy just tore his Achilles, but it's also like, and he's a bit older, but still talking about Dame Lillard, you know?
I mean, a lot of contending teams would take Dame Lillard. If my team was a contending team, I would love Dame. If your team was your team might be low-key a contending team. Dame would be a nice use of trade. Yeah, sure, you guys can. If you're getting a healthy season of Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Jakob Poeltl. We'll get into him a little later.
Oh, Jesus. Jakob fucking... There's no team with Jakob Poeltl being a starting center that's going to win an NBA championship, Robbie. It's like the Oilers playing Stuart Skinner. It's never going to happen. That tall, white fuck.
Well, anyways.
And it's Jacob over here. It's Jacob. Not Jakob. It's Jacob.
Well, you were calling him Jakob for the longest time, so that's why I called him Jakob.
What's his name? It's Jakob Poeltl. He's from fucking... Who the hell knows?
Apparently you don't. They also are trading Pat Connaughton. So a lot of like the core that Giannis has been around, it's all gone. Chris Middleton, Pat Connaughton, Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday. It's all gone. And Zach, at this point, and then with them moving on with Dame, if I'm Giannis, you know, I was loyal to you guys. I did things for the city that nobody's done since Kareem. And the fact that you can't run these things by me, I want out. If I was Giannis, I'd say, get me the hell out of here. I'm tired of Doc Rivers. I'm tired of this moving on from all these. I mean, his second best player right now, Zach, arguably, it's between Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma. That is not. Yeah. And I'm not putting Miles Turner in the occasion because Miles Turner, he might be right there with Bobby Portis. I think it was a bit of an overpay. They're paying Miles Turner
$30 million a year almost.
No, because it's for 107, so it's
okay.
Like in between 25 and 26. I was trying to do the math in my head there. I think it is a little over 26. You moved on from Dame for Miles Turner. What do you do? And then the other thing too is the Pacers were actually going to go
26.5.
The Pacers were going to go over their cap to bring Miles Turner. Miles Turner's agent didn't give him the chance. And Milwaukee and Indiana, I didn't know this, actually have a very heated rivalry. So when he goes back to Indy, it's probably not going to be reciprocated well.
And I mean, you also kind of like, you got to feel bad for Indiana because we'll get into it a little bit later. But no, the obvious that we all knew has been actually stated now that there will not be a Tyrese Halliburton playing next year. They are not going to risk this injury getting any worse.
Don't blame them one bit.
Not one bit. And now you lose Miles Turner. You're kind of your big center you've had for the entirety of Halliburton's career as a Pacer.
Not to mention, too, they were putting his name on the trade market every single year.
Yeah. It just, the team came so close, and it kind of seems like it's blowing up right in front of their faces here.
Oh, I could have swore I had a ton of more NBA notes than this. Oh, Jesus. All right, we're just going to do the best that we can here. So in the end, Zach, Damian Lillard, I mean, he tore his Achilles in the first round of the playoffs. I don't anticipate him playing this year, but I do anticipate a team signing him.
I mean, I think there's a better chance we see Dame Lillard this year, just because he's not getting any younger. I mean, he's at the point in his career where it's like, okay, if he gets injured again, then obviously it's done. But he's also got to be in a win now mode, Robbie. The guy's never won a championship. He's never even really sniffed one. And
to the Western Conference Finals with Portland, but you are right because
he never
overmatched by the Lakers.
Exactly. So he's had great. Obviously, we're talking about, one of the best point guards of the last 15 years. I mean, the guy
underappreciated point guards.
Yeah, Mr. Clutch. The guy has some of the most clutch baskets I can remember. And I think a contender is going to try to scoop this guy up. And honestly, maybe he gets like the fucking Aaron Rodgers treatment and he's able to come back after the All-Star break next year, or even come back for the playoffs if he's available next year. I mean, I'm not going to rule out us seeing Mr. Lillard next year.
It's just a matter of where, and that question is not easy to answer because of the injury. So time will tell. Let me just go by the one I have right here. Zachary, Lonzo Ball has been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was a straight up trade. Isaac Okoro is going to the Bulls. Lonzo is going to the Cavs. Zach, I love this trade. Honestly, will Lonzo be what he once was? No. But the one thing that Lonzo can still do.
Pass that ball, baby.
Pass that ball, and he's one of the best playmakers in the league. He might not have the athleticism that he once had, but if he could shoot the three decently, he could still play make in case of honestly, the second that Darius Garland was hurt, you could see how much it hurt that Cavs offense.
Yeah.
And they should but the thing is too, as much as I want to say they should think about moving on from Garland, the severity of that injury that Lonzo had, where they literally said that they don't think he would ever play basketball again. One injury could take him out the rest of the season, and then you're screwed. So Lonzo will be coming off the bench, and that is going to be one of the best bench pieces in the NBA, if not the best bench piece.
And I'm going to say this, too. I mean, like, okay, obviously with the injuries he's had, we can't expect to see the second overall form, but I'm not going to rule out this man being a legitimate baller. I mean, he's got to get now used to dealing with the pain he's going to be dealing with and used to playing on these, basically this bionic knee that he's been crafted. Mm-hmm. But once he figures it out, Robbie, this could be a giant piece for this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and especially in a year where, I mean, the East is legitimately completely wide open. Like,
it's bad.
Yeah. So,
I mean, there's a chance that my Brooklyn Nets can make the playoffs with how injured this East is. There's a chance that your Toronto Raptors can make the playoffs with how injured this East is.
I mean, the Celtics are going to be looking a little rough next year. The Pacers are going to be looking rough next year.
What they do with Jaylen Brown, because you still got Derek White. So I think that Derek White is still, I think Derek White could really up his value with the injury of Jason Tatum next season.
And let me just say this too here. When I say that, like, the Celtics are 100% going to be a playoff team next year. Like with those two guys, you're making the playoffs. They're just not going to be the dominant Boston Celtics team that we've seen for the last 5 years or whatever.
Evidently, I mean, it looks like the Sixers are not going to be moving on from Paul George, so they're going to have Paul George and Embiid, depending on the severity of his injury, and Tyrese Maxey. And who the hell did they draft? I forget who they drafted.
It's like Edgecombe or something like that, and apparently the guy's been lighting it up in the summer league. So, I mean, maybe they got themselves a nice piece. What, they got third overall pick? No, they had
third.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy with what the Spurs did too, because they drafted the kid out of Rutgers, not Ace Bailey. The other one, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's actually, like, if Cooper Flagg wasn't in the draft, he would be no more pick. I'm going to get the draft results right now because we got to talk about that.
Was it Bailey?
No, Ace Bailey went to
Jazz.
Right.
Yes.
And he's playing. So I mean, I think he was trying to get his way into Washington or Charlotte or Brooklyn, whatever it was. NBA draft. It was Dylan Harper.
I forgot to go over the NHL draft, but yeah, that happened too.
Dylan Harper. 1 second, Zachary. So Lonzo to the Cavs. The Cavs are not going to have the same win-loss record like they had last year, but they're going to be a much better team. The other news that the Kristaps Porzingis trade to the Atlanta Hawks. Let me just load that up really quick. I really got to scroll down.
I think didn't you report that live on the show last time?
We did. And low key, the Hawks actually have a pretty solid squad going into next season, man.
Well, I mean, if Kristaps can stay healthy, which we know that he is not very good at doing.
If they can get 50 games out of him.
Yeah, I could see that being possible.
Yeah.
What did you think about Mr. Paulo Banchero's contract?
It was deserved.
5 years, $287 million.
No, it was absolutely deserved, man, because this Magic team could be pretty scary with Banchero, with Wagner, Suggs, and then bringing in Desmond Bain. And keeping Wendell Carter and Mo Wagner staying on a 1-year deal. This team could be very, very scary.
Yeah, they'll be a contender in the East next year for sure. All right, what else do we got here, Robert?
Dorian Finney-Smith leaving to go to the Houston Rockets. I mean, the Lakers. I mean, LeBron's opted into his $52.6 million player option. But Zach, there's talks about the Lakers moving on from LeBron. And honestly, I think if you get the right package, I mean, this is something that they should have thought about a couple years ago. But obviously they're going to try to sell tickets. You know what I mean? Because Anthony Davis was always hurt. They didn't have that. They didn't have that focal piece outside of Anthony Davis to sell tickets at what was Staples Center. I think it's like Crypto Arena now or whatever. Now you have Luka. Luka is the future. This is no longer LeBron James' team. This is Luka's team. And you need to have the right assets around Luka sooner rather than later, because right now it's LeBron, Austin Reeves. I mean, in the playoffs, he was absolutely dreadful. The lights were too bright for him. So right now it's just Luka on the island. And Luka, let me just check to see when he's a free agent, Zachary. Luka free agency. Let's see. You know, it'd be nice if Google just give me the freaking year.
Yeah, they like to make you search for it.
Okay, so in 2021, oh, Zach, it's after this upcoming season. Luka will be a free agent.
That's some money to be spent. You know what? I was a little bit. That was kind of the first, because I'm a LeBron fan, but that was one of the first ones I saw where I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" It's like, do you want to try to win a championship? Or like, I understand you want to make your money. You are a billionaire.
He's definitely not, dude. I mean, you heard his comments that rings don't matter to legacy in terms of being the greatest of all time. So like, he doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care.
Like, he could have signed for fucking $20 million or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, money is, he could have signed for free, for fuck's sakes. The guy's made hundreds of millions of dollars, if not at least $1 billion in his career through signings and free and what the fuck's the word I'm looking for? Not sponsors.
Endorsements.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm stoned. And the guy is going to take $52 million. I mean, it's. I'm not expecting too much from the Lakers this year, Robbie.
I mean, the Lakers will be a playoff team because Luka is that good. But, I mean, and speaking of the Lakers, they have signed DeAndre Ayton. They have filled in that hole for center, which honestly is considering that it was either him or Jackson Hayes at the end of the day. I mean, it's a great fill-in. It sounds like Nick Claxton is going to be staying in Brooklyn because I thought he was going to end up going to the Lakers. And DeAndre Ayton is a decent scoring center, but the problem is this guy's attitude, man. I mean, there was reports about him being an absolute cancer to the locker room in Portland. So if that's what's going to change the culture in Portland, good for them, because Donovan Clingan is young. Our UConn alumni, shout out Huskies. We believe in Clingan. Do I have the UConn thing right here? I just don't know what kind of impact he's going to have over there in Los Angeles if he thinks he's going to be getting the ball even more now when he's playing with LeBron and Luka. You get it when you get it.
Yeah. I guess it's another change of scenery. I think this guy was what, a second overall pick?
Number one. This is LeBron James, 9th number one overall pick teammate in NBA history.
Well, he's got to prove to be a number one
Zach,
overall
let's
pick
test your knowledge.
Year. Okay.
Zach, let's test your knowledge. Since I gave you one,
yeah,
Mr. DeAndre Ayton, I would like for you to name 5. So DeAndre Ayton is 1. Name the other 4. Number one overall picks. LeBron's played with.
Kyrie.
That's 2.
Oh, this is where it's going to get a little tricky. Number
Feel
one
free to
overall
ask for
picks.
hints.
Yeah, I would like
Feel
a
free to ask for
hint.
hint. Okay. He won a championship with LeBron James in the bubble 2020 season. Actually, that's a lie. 2. I'm giving you 2 hints, essentially. 2 of them won with LeBron James in the bubble.
So that was the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis.
That's 3. There's one more from that team. Really thinking here.
I can't think of any other names.
Shaquille O'Neal hates this man. Used to hate this man.
Oh, God. How the fuck is that going to help me?
It should help you, because all he ever did was talk smack.
I give up.
The other Superman.
Oh, Dwight Howard. I was actually going to say Dwight Howard, but I wasn't. I wasn't sure if he was a first overall pick.
He was. Okay.
Should have said loves trans.
Anyways, one more. Was a teammate for a short time in Cleveland. However, a former MVP winner and probably the biggest what if in NBA history.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose.
Okay. Well, I would not have gotten that one, to be honest with you. I forgot they even played with each other. But who are these? Who are the other ones?
I gotta load it up. Shaq. Shaq was one of them. I think one of the guys' name was Joe Smith or Josh, not Josh Smith. I think it was Joe Smith. I had the fucker's name.
There was a guy named Joe Smith that went first overall in the NBA draft.
Yeah, holy shit. Oh, Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, would not get that either.
And then there was one more, and I completely blank out what it was. So that's 8 out of 9.
Well, that's a lot of first overall picks. Joe Smith definitely reigns as the best.
Easily, right? Okay. Other NBA news we have, because we have a lot of it, Zachary. We really do have a lot of it.
Well, we got the Knicks have officially hired a new head coach, Robert.
Okay, I want to hear your take on this before I get into it.
I'm not really too familiar with Mr. Mike Brown, to be honest with you.
Coach LeBron back in Cleveland. Mike Brown was a coach that turned it all around in Sacramento.
I mean, like I said, I don't really have too many opinions on it, but I still think that they made a colossal mistake getting rid of Thibodeau there, especially after the season you just had. I mean, you made it to the conference finals. You beat the Celtics for the first time, fucking what seems like ever. And then you go and you fire your coach, and now you're going to have a completely new system. A little bit weird for me, but like you just said, he turned it around in Sacramento, so maybe he is going to be the glue that holds his Knicks team together.
Now, from what I've been seeing on Knicks Twitter, this is the clip that they're all sharing. So let's hear what he had to say. By the way, if you see that thing right there, 32nd head coach in Knicks history. So let's hear what Mike Brown has to say that has Knicks Nation fired up.
A sustainable, winning culture that produces championships. That's why I'm here. I'm fortunate to know what it takes to create that success. A lot of hard work, a high level of commitment, a focus on today.
I'll tell you what, Zach. Excuse me. There is so much pressure on Mike Brown going into the season because if the Knicks take a step back, all hell's going to break loose. Mikal Bridges, the guy that they traded 5 first-round picks for, he's an upcoming free agent. He'll bounce. OG Anunoby will get fed up like he did with Toronto and say, I want out. Karl Anthony Towns will leave. And it's going to leave Jalen Brunson by himself to the point where he's going to say, you know what, I want to go too. Because there's no logical reason for them to fire Tom Thibodeau. So what I'm saying here, Zach, is this guy, Mike Brown, who is a former head NBA Coach of the Year with the Sacramento Kings, who is a former champion, but not as a head coach, as an assistant coach, I think twice or 3 times with the Golden State Warriors. He has made the finals with LeBron James, and that team that everybody talks about that LeBron carried them into the finals with in his younger days. But this guy did fall off. Kobe immediately said, I'm done with this guy. He wanted nothing to do with Mike Brown anymore. Mike Brown he didn't have a head coaching job for years until Sacramento brought him in. So what Mike Brown has to do here is what Steve Kerr did when they fired Mark Jackson in Golden State. He has to do what Joe Mazzulla did when they had no choice but to fire Ime Udoka in Boston. He has to do what Joe Torre did when they moved on from Buck Showalter with the New York Yankees. That's the amount of pressure that Mike Brown is going to be dealing with. And guess what? I bring up Joe Torre and Buck Showalter. You're in the same spot, bud. You are not the minor league team of the NBA in New York. You are the major league team. There is more pressure, in my opinion, for Mike Brown to win an NBA championship than there is for Aaron Boone to win a World Series now.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Zach, the Knicks were this close with
so
Tom.
the Yankees.
Yes, the Yankees did make the dance, but they didn't retain Juan Soto. This is the same roster going into next season with the addition, might I add, of Jordan Clarkson. So now what the Knicks really needed off the bench, they got. There's more pressure. You got the same starting lineup. You still got Deuce McBride, and now you have Jordan Clarkson. You still have Mitchell Robinson. So the Knicks' lack of depth bench is now there. But the other problem now is, Zachary, and you and I alluded to it when Tom Thibodeau got fired. There's a reason why the Stars are playing over 40 minutes, because there's nobody reliable on the bench for the Knicks. So now, if Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Cat, OG are all going to play their low 30 minutes instead of their high 30, low 40 minutes, if not 48 minutes, now you have to develop this lackluster bench. Good luck. Good luck.
I didn't like the way he talks, to be honest with you. See,
Zach, this is my benefit. Because if the Knicks fall off, all those first-round picks.
Well, I can't see them falling off, Robert. They're going to be the first or second seed in the East next year.
Cleveland still has them, I think. Philadelphia is healthy. And because if Philadelphia honestly starts off so slow next year, goodbye, Nick Nurse. Orlando's going to compete with them.
Well, I just think that they still have a roster. Like, I mean, if you look at their starting five, they still have an impeccable starting five.
Let me ask you a question, because you're not a big fan of your head coach, if I'm not mistaken. Would you bring in Tom Thibodeau ASAP?
I mean, yeah, I don't like. We have some weird Croatian guy. He throws me off, to be honest with you.
I don't even think he knows a lick of basketball.
Yeah, his name is Darko.
Yeah. Let's go into your team really quick, Zachary. So we talk about Jakob Poeltl. You said it's not Jakob Poeltl. Okay.
Jacob.
Masai. You know your VP's name.
Masai Ujiri.
Former VP. Would you like to? Do you need the floor with this, or
no? You know what? To be used, like the guy had 1 year left on his contract. I mean, to quote unquote fire him was a little bit fucked up. I mean, the guy brought us a title. He's really made Toronto like a somewhat nice destination for these guys to come and play basketball, or at least it was. I know we're having a little bit tough time now, but I mean, the guy, like I said, we won a championship underneath him because of moves he made. He's made us a somewhat, kind of relevant basketball team for the last 10 years or whatever long he's been around. And I think there's going to be a lot of teams that will be calling him for a position with their squads, Robbie.
We'll see. But, I mean, outside of his championship that he brought you guys, I mean, that was, I wouldn't say necessarily a risky trade, because what was it? It was DeMar DeRozan and something for Kawhi. It panned off, but if they didn't win that championship, it would have been like the biggest fumble, essentially.
Yeah, it's one of those gambles that actually fucking worked.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But you know what? I have nothing bad to say about Masai.
Yeah, you can't.
I loved when he said "fuck Brooklyn." That was cool.
Anyways.
And I just hope the best for him, Robert. I hope the best for Mr. Masai Ujiri.
Okay, we're going to go through one more trade here in the NBA, and then we're going to talk about our respective NBA teams draft and also break down some of these other players that were drafted. The last trade we have to mention here, Zachary, is James Harden is coming back to the Clippers. I think it was a little bit more money per year. The contract he signed, it was like 2 years, I think $91 million. But the big trade that happened was, well, by the way, I don't think there's really any need to mention of it because the rest of the players are just a bunch of who's. But there was, for the first time in NBA history, a 7-team trade as a part of the Kevin Durant deal, and there was just a bunch of no names getting moved around to the other teams in Brooklyn acquiring 2 second-round picks.
Very weird.
Yeah, do I have it up here? No. Okay. The Clippers, Jazz, and Heat have agreed to trade.
We just want to take this moment to salute you, the greatest fans in the world.
That is our greatest fan. That is my.
Thank you, sir. Bob Clark. Thank you, Bobby boy.
That is our greatest fan right there. That is my father. Shout out, Dad. The Clippers, Jazz, and Heat have agreed to a trade that sends Norman Powell to Miami, John Collins to Los Angeles, and Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 Clippers second-round pick to the Jazz. Kevin Love most likely will be bought out and probably will be a free agent. If not, he will probably retire, one of the two. So, Zach, what do you think of Norman Powell to Miami and John Collins to the Clippers?
I mean, I'm a big Storm and Norman fan myself, watching him play with the Raptors. John Collins, obviously a pretty great player well, not great player, but a pretty good player in his respect.
Mhm.
Um,
He had a pretty good year last year, though.
yeah, and then I mean, going back to the Jazz, it's like, okay, whatever. Kevin Love, 41 years old, whatever the fuck he is now. Kyle Anderson,
He's only like 36. He just looks mad old.
he's got a lot of gray.
He does.
And then Kyle Anderson's fucking Kyle Anderson. I mean, a very average NBA player. 2 second-round picks doesn't really mean jack squat.
I got it right. 36, but he's going to be 37 when the season starts.
That old bastard. But no, I like Storm and Norman going to Miami. I don't mind the Clippers bringing in Collins. Kind of shittier for Norman Powell's not going to go to Miami and turn this franchise around. I think we all know that, but maybe a little change of scenery for him. I guess kind of a surprising trade. Like, I don't know if there's like, is there a contract ending or something?
Unless Miami is trying to turn Tyler Hero into a point guard, makes no sense to me. None. But Miami low-key has an interesting roster next year because they'll have Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam. Yeah, Dad's right. We forgot about the Pistons. How dare us? Pistons could really improve next season. Take that next step too.
Detroit. Yeah, there's so much shit that happened in the NBA. My goodness.
Yeah, but it's just about the end. What are we waiting on in the NBA? We'll be waiting on Damian Lillard, whatever happens with him. We'll be waiting on a potential Nick Claxton trade if the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, we forgot this one, Zachary. Speaking of my Brooklyn Nets, they made an interesting trade. We traded Cam Johnson and we acquired Michael Porter Jr. and the Nuggets unprotected 2032 first round pick. Yeah, that's 7 years from now, but Zach, as crazy as it sounds, a lot of executives look at that pick as, if not one of the most valuable picks in the NBA. And that's all because of the uncertainty of Nikola Jokic and the probable decline of Jamal Murray.
And I mean, if you would have said Michael Porter Jr. maybe a couple years ago, you'd probably been a little bit more excited. I mean, I guess that guy's back just seems like it is steamrolled.
Yeah, but like, you know what you get out of his catch and shooting. And if a team really wants to contend, the Nets were looking for 2 to 3 first round picks for Cam Johnson. I'm doing this poor as I'm talking to you, so this should be really interesting here. They could get what they want for Cam Johnson, which is 2 to 3 first round picks.
So they got one 7 years from now?
They do, but I mean, like I said, they're not going to be contenders. So if MPJ does very well in Brooklyn this upcoming season, by the way, that was a better pour. They might get the 2 or 3 first round picks they were looking for from a contending team.
That's a big if, though.
Sure it is, but I'm a fan of the trade for that pick specifically. Michael Porter Jr. isn't going to lead us to anything better, but Cam Johnson, shout out to him. I mean, Zach, he really elevated his stock last season. He really did. This guy, I think, averaged a career high 18 points per game. His numbers are very similar to Michael Porter Jr., except Michael Porter Jr. gets more rebounds. And now that Nikola Jokic is going to be there, I mean, he really could raise his numbers over there in Brooklyn.
Well, he's definitely going to have oh my gosh. A lot of day today, folks. He's definitely going to have a more prominent role playing with Brooklyn.
Yes. And I think that's all we have to go through in the NBA outside of the next upcoming sequence here. What is this? Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, Zach. So let's go over here. Spencer Dinwiddie to Charlotte Hornets. God damn it. You're going to fucking fall off a cliff.
Robbie, would you play Willie Adames or Dansby Swanson?
Willie Adames.
Fuck, Swanson's having a really good year this year.
Willie Adames.
All right.
Willie Adames. Zachary, let's go to the draft. Okay, so with the first pick, we all knew what was going to happen. The first pick, the Dallas Mavericks get Cooper Flag. And did you see ESPN coverage immediately said white privilege?
Yeah, that's what it was. The guy who's been a consensus first overall pick for 3 years going into this draft is white privilege because he got picked. You know, I actually saw a pretty crazy stat, Robbie. I don't know. I think it was like the first time in 40 years or something like that where a white American player was drafted first overall.
Who was the other one? Bill Walton?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not even too sure. Let me go.
That's
into
a
this.
hard stat to look up, brother. That's a very hard stat to look up.
Last
Prior
white.
to Cooper Flag, I'm trying to think of the last white guy drafted with the number 1 pick. That's a hard one. I don't think Jason gets half and half.
Last white guy that would I know the Raps drafted a white guy way back in the day.
Was it Bargnani?
Yeah, he was the last white American.
But he wasn't American. He's like from Spain.
He's fucking I think he's Italian.
I'm so fascinated by this. I really hope you can load up this fact because this is very. My guess is Bill Walton. It's not going to be Kevin McHale.
Okay, list of first overall draft picks here. We're just
Well,
going
that's
to
going to be hard. You're going to look for like the whitest name ever.
Okay, we got Doug Collins. That sounds pretty white. Bill Walton.
Bill Walton
went after him. Doug Collins was a whitey.
Mm-hmm. So was Bill Walton.
Okay,
right.
This guy for the Rockets, John Lucas. That sounds like that's a black guy.
Oh, it's a black guy. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Joe Barry Carroll.
Pretty sure that's a white guy.
Okay, he went 1980. No picture of him, so we're just gonna have to keep that one up in the air.
We're just gonna. Oh, I forgot to check my freaking lineup in fantasy. God damn it! Oh, do I have time? Okay, I can put 2 pictures in.
Like I said, Robbie, this is actually a lot harder because it doesn't say white or black on this Wikipedia page here. But
why didn't you just white guys drafted first overall in NBA? Do I got to teach you how to do your job? All right, here we go.
White guys.
White guys drafted number 1 overall NBA draft. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it. Cooper Flag picked number 1 overall by the Dallas Mavericks in 2025 NBA draft on June 25th. Is the first American-born white player to be drafted first overall since. Let me know if you ever heard this guy. Kent Benson of Indiana was selected by the Milwaukee Bucks in 1977. Drink to that, bud.
See, I knew my stat was correct.
Partially. And by the way, if we're doing numbers here, that's 48 years.
Yes, almost 50 years. So, yeah, white privilege, folks. You got one first overall pick every 50 years.
White privilege. Okay, Zach, I am going to go through every Brooklyn pick due to the fact that they had 5 of them. So when we go through the rest here, number 2, Dylan Harper went to Rutgers. I don't like that for Stephon Castle's sake. With the number 3 pick with the Sixers, they went with VJ Edgecombe from Baylor. Number 4, the Charlotte Hornets went with Con Knuppel from Duke. I got a burp. Number 5, the Jazz went with Ace Bailey. Number 6, arguably the best shooter in the draft, goes to Washington, Trey Johnson. This one killed me, Zach. I was so pissed. Number 7, the Pelicans took Jeremiah Fears. That's who I wanted so freaking badly, bro. So
it always happens.
That hurt. And especially this next fuck. Number 8, guard from BYU, Igor Demon. And dude, if I could rage right now, I would so rage because I don't know of any successful NBA player from BYU, because the last one that comes to mind was supposed to be the next best thing in the NBA, except he was good in China, as President Trump would say, China. He was nothing in the NBA, and I'm alluding to Jimmy Fredette. And the other one that's successful across pro sports is good for having sexual intercourse with MILFs, and that's Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and his name is Igor. I haven't met a good basketball player named Igor ever.
Igor's E-gay.
Well, there you go.
Number 9, which features your Toronto Raptors, which, by the way, I forgot to bring this up. I guess we're going to bring it up now. The second he was drafted by the Raptors, he goes, fuck. Colin Murray Boyles from South Carolina.
You know what? I'm not going to read too much into that, though. I'm hoping in his little post-King interview that he was being truthful when he was like, no, I wasn't pissed off. I was just shocked. Optics were not good on that. I'm going to be honest right here. The optics did not look too good in his favor that he was excited to be drafted to Toronto. It looked like he literally just found out someone in his family died. But you know what? At the end of the day, fuck you. You're on our team now, so you better learn to love the city, and you better go buy yourself a Canada Goose jacket because it gets cold as a motherfucker here in the wintertime.
Sure as hell does. Round out the top 10 was a guy that was projected to go to Brooklyn when we did our last show was Kaman Maluka, center from Duke, who was getting compared to a better offensive version of Rudy Gobert. So Houston snags a nice one with the Kevin Durant trade. Let's go to 15. Let's go to OKC because they are the champions and they had the number 15 pick. They go with a center for Georgetown, Thomas Sorber, who I think led the Big East in rebounding. So in case they want to move on from Isaiah Hartenstein, get a good haul in return with his big contract. We'll see how this guy pans out. Okay, so with the rest here from Brooklyn, guard, France, Nolan Traore, no idea. Guard from North Carolina, Drake Powell. You know what's convenient, Zach? Is North Carolina is a great college, right? They sucked last year.
Yep.
Number 26, guard. Surprisingly, he's not dead. Guard, Israel, Ben Suraf.
You guys drafted an Israeli?
Yeah, we drafted an Israeli.
No.
Yeah, we're screwed. And then our last pick, forward, white guy, Michigan, Danny Wolf.
I'm just going to say this, too. That guy's brother has one of the ugliest faces I've ever seen with my own two eyes. Did you see the guy crying after he got drafted? Obviously, it's a good family moment.
Yes.
That guy looks like a Snapchat filter. One of the most fucked up faces I've ever seen in my life. Safe to say from your reaction, though, Robbie, you're not too pleased with the 5 first-round picks of the Brooklyn Nets?
Those were 4 there. I think I named off. Hold on. Let me see if I can find his ugly brother because that was an ugly cry face.
Yeah. Just
Danny Wolf brother. It's the first thing that pops up. It's not even Danny. Oh, God. Oh,
look at how ugly this guy is, dude.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Wolf.
For you folks watching, that is a Snapchat filter, bro. What is that?
What did you see in your son that made this moment come true?
His entire life, he's had a chip on his shoulder to be. Well,
Brother is at the table still trying to get himself together. Just so much emotion. It's healthy. I'm glad to see you guys letting it out.
for sure, yeah. I have the 2 greatest brothers in the world. I have an unbelievable sister who I love, and they all helped me get to where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Your brother. Oh my God. I have taken steaming shits that have more sex appeal than that man does right there. Like, that is one of the ugliest. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we drafted his bro. We didn't draft him. We drafted his brother.
No, he comes with the baggage, though.
Yeah, I think
tough look for that guy there.
1, 2, 3. No. Yeah, that's 5. Zachary, in short term, I told everybody at work, I'll tell you here. 5 first-round picks, 3 white guys were fucked.
Yeah. And 1 white guy with a really weird-looking brother.
This isn't baseball. This is a black man sport. We're screwed.
It is an African-American sport, folks. And we here at the Sports Cave, we love African-Americans, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You're big basketball fans here.
All right. I think we should say baseball for last in case
I was going to say, speaking of African-Americans, should we bring it to another predominantly African-American sport? Sue us, motherfuckers. Yeah, we love black people here at the Sports Cave.
Well, Dad, that's a great point. I don't know why we didn't draft McNeely neither, but that would have just been another way.
Well, what color is McNeely?
White. He's from UConn.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would have really played into your guys' draft strategy.
ESPN will be so big. the Brooklyn Nets used 5 picks and draft them all on white.
White privilege, these Brooklyn Nets.
Kendrick Perkins would be like, the whites.
Then you have Kanye West coming on going, the Brooklyn Nets hate black people. Yeah. That show's getting off the rails here. NFL, folks, we're here. We're going to talk some NFL here. There is I don't know if me and Robbie had mentioned it to you guys that are listening here, but we are going to do week by week. We are going to break down one division, starting today with the AL East. We are going to go through the...
It's not possible. It's not possible. You said the AL East.
Oh, my God, sorry. The AFC East. I was thinking baseball. My apologies. The AFC East, rather.
I don't want to talk
and we are going to go through all 4 teams, their full schedule, who they brought in, who they're dishing out this year, and we are going to kind of guess what record they're going to be coming up with here.
Yeah, we're not going to talk baseball. Yeah.
No, baseball's last.
No, we're not.
But before we get into that, Robbie, do you think we go over this little bit of NFL news we have?
I think we went over this little bit of news a couple of weeks ago, Zachary.
Okay, I wasn't sure. It does
what
look...
I can do is go to our home screen here and see if we have any updated news. Outside of the updated news, what I can tell you, Zach, I haven't watched a second of it yet. Excuse me. The new Netflix quarterback series is out again. Season 2. It features Kirk Cousins once again, Joe Burrow, and I forget who the other son of a bitch is.
Is it Deshaun Watson?
No.
Okay, his videos are featured on Pornhub.
With Mia Khalifa.
No, getting jerked off by Thai masseuse ladies.
Oh, Jared Goff. Jared Goff. That actually would be that. I'm actually low-key interested.
Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff don't do too much for me when it comes to like entertainment.
Kirk Cousins season 1 was good. Would you agree?
Yeah, he was good, but I would like to see like a Lamar Jackson or a...
Me too.
Or like someone with some pizzazz, you know?
I agree, because Mahomes was in season 1, so this had to be turned down. They had to have gone to Lamar and Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts and Dak. And I put Dak in there because Dak plays for the franchise of the NFL. And they all had to have said no.
Yeah, I think part of my take did their quarterback rankings, and they had Dak at 23rd.
I'm putting Dak outside of my top 10, but 23rd is absolutely nuts.
Let me see if I can get that actually correct.
Let me see if I can load up the clip here on Twitter. Pardon my take. QB ranks. Let's see.
I got him right here. You got him? I can send it to you.
My. Oh, I have it. Oh,
yeah, 24th. It's a blue background. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. They have... Oh, so they went by... They have Jane Daniels in his own category. Elite, they have Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, and Burrow. Which, by the way, Zach, it's absolutely true, because when you think of like the top 5, those 4 are a lock. And it's like, who would you put at 5? Who would you put at 5 without looking at that list?
There's definitely a few names that would come to them. I don't think I would be putting Jaden Daniels there at number 5.
Not yet.
I mean, like Jalen Hurts coming up, winning a Super Bowl. I don't know if I'd put him at top 5.
Okay.
I mean, I like a Jared Goff. I like a Matthew Stafford, but I feel like they're getting up there a little bit in age.
Yeah, Jared Goff's not getting up there in age, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna put Goff at 5 for me. I don't know if I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing some big quarterbacks here. Uh-oh.
I'm just giving you the horn for that take, because do you remember last year I kept saying that Jared Goff is better than Dak Prescott, and Isaiah would get very angry with me?
Yeah.
Now you're talking about him being the fifth best quarterback.
But I feel like that he could be there. You could, depending on what you see from like an Aaron. I'm not going to say Aaron Rodgers' name. Jaden Daniels possibly could be there. Stafford, like I said, he's always proven to be a complete gamer. You could throw him in that equation. There's so many guys you could put in that equation, but I don't know. I really like Jared Goff's game. Obviously, if you look at his team in front of him, I mean, it's kind of hard not to succeed with that offense. But
I'm looking at this list. We're going over the list right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. So part of my takes quarterback list, they have one Allen, which honestly, him and Mahomes.
But they're also part of my take. They're massive Josh Allen guys. Josh Allen's on their show quite often. So that's just kind of a.
Okay. So Josh Allen, Mahomes at 2, Lamar at 3, Burrow at 4, which by the way, I would put Mahomes at 1 because I don't think about regular season. I think of overall spectrum. Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. I'm putting Burrow at 2, and the only reason is because, Jalen Hurts beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but Barkley had a lot to do with that.
I actually might even have Burrow at number 1, to be honest with you. If I had to choose one quarterback to play on my team, I think I'd choose I just love his game. I mean, Mahomes, yes, has shown some absolute greatness, but we can agree, Robbie, the last couple of years, he's not been the Patrick Mahomes that we've kind of become accustomed to see. And maybe he's still been fantastic, don't get me wrong, but maybe he just set the bar too high and it's maybe like a recency bias. But I don't know.
I just think that he's turned it down because he's saving his overall ethic of work for the playoffs.
Yeah. That's very true. Either way, I mean, Mahomes 1, Burrow, that's who I think are the 2 best quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, so you got Burrow 1, Mahomes 2.
Yeah, so I'm going to do my ranking there.
Let's go through the entire rankings now. So again, Allen 1, Mahomes 2, Lamar at 3, Burrow at 4. I'm definitely putting Burrow over Lamar. Number 5, they have Jalen Daniels in his own category. Technically, Super Bowl champions, 6, 7, and 8. Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts. Hurts is above Aaron Rodgers. That's so fucked up. That's probably just Big Cat.
Yeah.
Great quarterbacks in their list. They have Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Zach. I hate to really throw like salt on the wound, but man, did you guys really fumble on Baker? Because his last year with Cleveland,
I'm aware.
That dude was so hurt and gave his all for you guys. And you're not the only one. Carolina fumbled as well. Okay.
But so do the Rams. Well, the Rams don't really need him, but
they didn't need him.
Yeah, I guess
they saved his career, if anything. Like
yeah.
he owes so much to Sean McVay, bro. It's not even like I don't even know how to describe it. He owes so much to them. I hit the wrong tab here. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud 11. CJ Stroud took a major step back. He has a lot to prove this year, and he's going to have no Tank Dell. So right now it's only Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy at 12. I wouldn't put him that high. No. Herbert at 13. Herbert is a great regular season quarterback, but however, I know that they got bounced really bad in the first round last year, but Jim Harbaugh could still turn Herbert around.
I mean, you've seen what Herbert can do. The guy's they got an insane arm on him. He needs to obviously fine tune a few things, but that's another guy. Maybe with playing under Jim Harbaugh, the guy becomes a top 5 quarterback. I mean, I feel like he has the skill to get it done.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about a guy that was unreal his first couple seasons, and then, injuries take a toll. Like you said, his playoff performances have been he's basically the Mitch Marner of playoffs.
That was a great analogy, dude. That was a great analogy.
That's what he is. Solid season guy. Put up guy will get fucking 4,000, 40, maybe 4,500 throwing yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then the playoffs, he fucking sucks a big cock.
Okay, now you just took it a little too far.
Big good old fat guy.
We have Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix, and it's so sad to see Trevor Lawrence in that. However, dude, if it doesn't work out in Jacksonville, bro, Trevor Lawrence deserves a second chance with a comparable franchise, dude. Like Indy, it seems like they're going to go between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson and battle it. At some point, I feel like they might want to try to see if they can get Trevor Lawrence and fix it all. Well, Jacksonville is just how they made the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles and have gone this bad. I don't get it.
Blake Bortles. What a legend.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? I just piss. Honestly, for me, it's meds, get changed, piss every morning.
I usually wake up like Blake Bortles with a full-on erection because it's full of urine.
Yeah. If only women understood the struggle of that. From 16 to 22, we'll change game to game. 16, Jordan Love. 17, Geno. 18, Sam Darnold. 19, Tua. 20, Bryce Young. 21, Kyler Murray. 22, Joe Flacco. And Had Darnold stayed in Minnesota, he would have been higher in the rank.
I will say this, though. That category name seems so appropriate to me with who's on that list. Like, those names are literally... You could get Jordan Love having a game where he looks like an MVP and then a game where he looks like me playing quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to have to do our quarterback rankings this year from 32 to 31.
Oh, yeah.
I think we'll be in agreement once we get to the end here. Accurate ranking tier. This one, I wish Caleb and Isaiah were in here because I freaking died laughing. At 23, they have Daniel Jones, and at 24, they have Dak Prescott.
So, Bob, if you're here, Bob, what do you feel about that? They have ranked Daniel Jones ahead of your star, Dak Prescott.
For like $50 million less, too.
Oh, I knew this list was going to be a hit.
I got to call a Cowboys fan outside of Dad. I got to call a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I can I'll pull up the rest of us here. So while Robbie's making that call, guys, the next one, too early to tell. We have Caleb Williams, Drake May.
Zach, hold on.
Yep.
Joey, you're live at the Sports Cave right now, and I needed this instant reaction from you.
Dak Prescott's the best.
Ironically, part of my take. Are you aware of part of my take with Barstool, Big Cat, PFT, those guys?
Sure.
Well, they have their rankings here. And from 23 to 24, number 23, they have Daniel Jones. And number 4, they have Dak Prescott. Where do you
24, number 24.
I said that.
You said 4.
Oh, 24. They have 24 at Dak and 23 at Daniel Jones. What are your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, it's just a very liberal podcast.
It's not us. We're just reading what the liberal podcast allegedly said.
Yeah,
Fucking libs.
I believe Dak was injured, so that must explain why.
Actually, so you said you made a bet on FanDuel, correct, of the Cowboys winning more than 10 games? Okay, correct. Okay. Joseph, you have a great shift of third, okay?
Oh, I will definitely try. You know, I got some pictures of Dak Prescott I usually just look at on break time. And, yeah.
All right, enjoy your quote-unquote lunch break.
All right, bro.
Love you.
Bye.
Well, that's Joe Fernandez, fellow electrician, so the brother of mine right there.
Too early to tell.
Yeah.
25, Caleb Williams. 26, Drake May. 27, Michael Penix. 20, J.J. McCarthy. That's appropriate. I would still put Caleb above Drake May. I'm not going to be biased here. That's appropriate. Bad. 29, Russ Wilson. 30, Justin Fields. 31, Anthony Richardson. 32, Saints quarterback, whoever they start.
Honestly, obviously the list is there for some fun and some laughs, but if you we'll obviously get into this later, but like right now, just off the top of your head, where would you rank Dak Prescott in the quarterback rankings? I'm going to have to say he's still a top 15 quarterback.
Easily top 15. Easily.
But like I'm going to put him probably at around like a 13.
Okay, he's better than Bo Nix. He's better than Trevor Lawrence. Him and Herbert are so relatively close, but I'll give the nod to Dak because at least he's made to the second round. I would take Dak Prescott over Brock Purdy. I'll take Stroud, Baker, and Goff over Dak. So I'm putting Dak essentially at 12.
Well, then I think that's a pretty. I was going to say 12, 13 myself, so I feel like that's a pretty good.
And although Dak, I think, has made it further than Baker in the playoffs, this upcoming Buccaneer season, dude, it's not going to be as easy as you think, but I think that the Bucs are going to take that next step.
Well, I mean, they're going to have no Chris Godwin for a little bit, though, right? Is he going to be
dead at 15?
Wow, Bob.
Wow.
Well, okay, that's an honest Cowboys fan there. That's an honest Cowboys fan. We have to respect that right there.
Dad hates Dak, though. He really hates him. I can't use the words he's used to describe
Yeah.
Dak.
Yeah. Something they used to call them back in the day. Anywho, we got ourselves a... Just kidding, Bob. We got ourselves...
Stop.
A quarterback ranking of the ages over here.
All right. So as you alluded to, Zach, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up every team's schedule here. Do you have a pen and paper in you? Do you have something?
I got my phone on me here. Would you like? I don't even know if I have a pen or paper.
I loaded up the piece of paper. Okay, hold on. There's 4 teams per conference, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bills, Dolphins, Pats, Jets. All right. You want to start with the Bills first?
Yeah, we'll start with the Bills first if you want. I got their schedule. You want to pull it up?
You can load up their schedule. Before we do that, so a lot of teams have additions and departures. I made this list here, and I tried doing it off of noticeable names that we know for the arrivals and departures. So for the Buffalo Bills, the additions that they basically brought one of them back. One of them is brand new. Tre'Davious White comes back, I think, on a 1-year deal. Joey Bosa comes in also on a 1-year deal. If you guys don't know the positions, you're living under rocks, I'll just tell you. Joey Bosa, defensive end, which when he first came into college was a hot commodity, but then his brother Nick kind of took the light away from him because Nick Bosa is just that much better. But Joey Bosa is still a very good defensive end. Tre'Davious White corner. Departures, they moved on from Von Miller, rightfully so. That was an overpay from the very beginning.
Yep.
They lose one of their, I think they lost both safeties and Micah Hyde and Jordan Poirier, but they definitely lost Jordan Poirier. I think he went to Miami, and their center Mitch Moore. So I should also add on there Mac Hollins, because Mac Hollins was a fan favorite with like his entrances to the arenas, walking barefoot and shit. He's another one that they lost. So Zachary, you have their schedule?
Yes, I do. They are starting off against the Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo.
Why didn't you say at home? Why did you say at?
They will be playing at home against the Baltimore Ravens in week 1, and I'm going to chalk that up as a loss, Robert.
Wow.
I'll be chalking that up as a loss. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be a very, very, very good football team this year.
I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this. We're going to listen back on this. We're going to listen back on this.
I'll do mine on my phone. I'll send you a screenshot of it afterwards. So
that works. I'm chopping that up as a W.
Okay, you got a W, and then you're going to do week 2. I'll do week 3, so on. You go first, I should say. So week 2.
No, you have the whole schedule. Number 1.
Yeah, but so I have a loss in game 1. You have a win.
Week 2. I'm going to join you. And the reason I say that is because they were a 2-point conversion away if Mark Andrews caught that ball. So I'm going to go with them taking the L week 1 against the Ravens as well.
Well, I think we're both going to have them taking the W in week 2, Robbie, because they are heading to New York to face the Jets.
Yep.
W for them right there. Week 3, they are heading back home to host the Miami Dolphins in a Thursday night football game.
Ooh, early on in the year, too, because Tua does better in a warmer climate.
I'm still going to take the Buffalo Bills in that one.
Now, remember, when we take this, we have to add that onto our Dolphins picks.
Yep. So that's Dolphins. I'll just do it when we get on the Dolphins there.
I'm going to take Miami.
You take Miami?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Robbie. Well, the next week after that, Sunday afternoon, early slate, they are heading to New Orleans to face the Saints. That's an easy one, Robert.
W.
Here's where it gets a little intriguing, Robert. Sunday night football, first week of October. They are heading to Foxborough Stadium to face the New England Patriots. I'm going to let you answer this one first. I'm going to say it's going to be a win for the Buffalo Bills, to be honest with you.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
First game in Foxborough. Whole new regime. Mike Vrabel knows how to stop the opposing team's quarterbacks. Taking the Patriots at home.
Wow.
Zach, honestly, dude, I'm so high on the Patriots this year, and we'll get into it later.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do here, Robbie? I'll keep actually, you're going to keep track of your own, right? So we're good like that.
Yes.
All right, so you have a loss for the Buffalo Bills against New England there.
I'm at 2-3 right now.
Yeah, I got them at 4-1. Monday Night Football here, Robbie. They are going to Atlanta to face the Atlanta Falcons. I will be taking a W in that one.
Yep.
Coming off of a bye week after that, they are heading to Carolina to play the Panthers. W for the Bills. So I now have the Bills winning 7 in a row.
Yeah, you better freaking figure it out.
Well, this one I'm going to chalk them up as a loss, Robbie. The Kansas City Chiefs coming to Buffalo. They have Buffalo's number. I will take the Chiefs on the road against the Buffalo Bills.
Incorrect.
That's what I'm taking.
I'm taking Buffalo to beat Kansas City.
Well, Robbie, I am going to have the Buffalo Bills losing 2 games in a row because I am going to take the Buffalo Bills losing on the road, heading to Miami to face the Dolphins.
1 second. I'm not logged in. Do 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 do.
What the fuck are you doing over here? Uh-oh. What do we got here?
For report, this is breaking news, but this NBA team, they've made a lot of moves this offseason, Zachary. A lot of moves. Call me crazy for giving them the tornado siren, but I really think it's going to improve their roster. The San Antonio Spurs are trading Kelly Olynyk, or the Washington Wizards are trading Kelly Olynyk to the Spurs for Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, in a 2026 second-round pick. Zach, the Spurs continue to get bigger and bigger in terms of height.
Well, they want that size. They want
Kelly
that size.
Shooter too. Kelly Olynyk's not the worst, but he's not the best.
I mean, he's Kelly Olynyk. You know, he's.
I like what the Spurs team's doing though. Week 10 is who, Zachary? Before I interrupted you.
Week 10 is at Miami for the Buffalo Bills.
They get the revenge.
So we have them opposite. Okay, Robbie, this one's another interesting one.
And Tua will probably be concussed.
Yeah, very true. We are heading back to Buffalo. Hosting...
By the way, hold on. We didn't mention this part. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Folks, when we're doing our win to loss this year, I know I just predicted a Tua injury. We're doing this for the next 8 weeks. We're doing this based off of the entire team being healthy, which is not possible. That's just what we're doing for now.
Yeah. And this one, it could be a toss-up if they're both healthy. I would still give Buffalo the advantage, but they will be hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe we're seeing Chris Godwin back.
I don't even care. It's too cold by then.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills as well, Robbie. Let me just put a W down here. W for the Bills in that week. Next week, heading on the road for the next 2 weeks here, Thursday Night Football, heading into Houston to play the Texans. I will be taking the Bills in that one.
As well?
Next week after that, going over to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers in what could be. You know what? I'm gonna take them as a game off. I'm gonna take them with a loss. Win. They're getting a W.
Nope, I'm taking them as an L.
I'm gonna take them as a W there because I had them as a loss the week after. You know what? No, I lied. I'm gonna take them as a loss there against the Steelers. The week after, Robbie, they will be hosting Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take the Bengals in the W on that one. Back-to-back losses I got for the Buffalo Bills there.
Me too.
And then after that, Robbie, Sunday, December 14th, they are going... Oh, shit. Did I get these wrong here? My apologies, Robbie. If you want to change your Patriots pick, you can, because the one I told you first was actually at Buffalo. This one is at New England.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely changing.
Yeah.
I'm definitely changing that.
Yeah. So you're go back to week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 5 and change your pick.
I got it written down here.
Yeah. And then you're obviously going to take the Patriots to beat.
Yes.
Yes. You know what, Robbie? I'm going to join you. No, I lied. I'm taking the Bills of the W.
Wait. Hold on. You're not joining me. You're joining Plouffe. What are you doing to Plouffe?
I'm taking the Bills the W. And Robbie, let me tell you something right now. I'm taking the Bills with their biggest W of the season and the week after that because they are heading to Cleveland to face the Browns.
W.
Ending off their season, Robbie, Philadelphia Eagles coming in to Buffalo.
They play 18 weeks, don't they?
Yeah, there's 2 more games.
Yeah, you said ending off their season.
I meant to say 2 more, ending off in 2 games. I misspoke.
In Philly or at Philly? Or
this is
Philly?
In Buffalo.
Wait, where's week 18 before you give me that? Week 18.
Week 18 is also in Buffalo, and it's going to be a win for them.
Okay. I'm going to take them with the win against Philly.
I'm going to take them with a loss, and then I'm going to take them ending off their season, crumpling the New York Jets in Buffalo.
Now, Zach, this is the last year of the old stadium in Buffalo. So,
oh, shit, dude. I have 6 losses for the Bills this year. That's not good.
This is their last season at that stadium before they move indoors. So I have the Bills with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have them going 12-5.
Well, isn't there 18 games?
Yep. 17 games.
Okay. I think I have them going 11-6.
Okay. All right. Next team we'll do the Dolphins, so I'll give you a chance to load up.
I already got it.
You have the Dolphins.
I got all 4 loaded up.
Very nice. Okay. The key additions here, and I guess we can talk about this a little bit if you would like before we go straight to the schedule. The Dolphins had a very, I think, solid additional season. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Darren Waller, and Zach Wilson. The only reason I bring up Zach Wilson like that is, unfortunately, we know to his concussion history, there's bound to be an injury. Zach Wilson has this is his last shot, dude, because he has God-given talent. And Mike McDaniel is a great quarterback, finder. Who do they have last year? They had Tyler Huntley, whatever the hell his new name is. Sklar Thompson, whatever the freak that guy's name is, and Mike White. Mike White was good for the Jets. He was nothing close with the Dolphins. This is Zach Wilson's last shot, and he's really got to capitalize, and I think there's a chance he can do that. Minkah Fitzpatrick is a great safety, and Darren Waller, do I think he could be like Vegas Darren Waller? It's to be determined because his role with the Giants was nothing close to what he was with the Raiders. However, Jonnu Smith was on his way out the league. Mike McDaniel raised his value, and you have a more versatile tight end, Darren Waller, than you do Jonnu Smith. So those are the key additions in my
putting the rap career on hold.
Rightfully so. The departures, Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. That's really it. Both sent to the Steelers.
Robbie, you ready for this motherfucker or what?
I'm horny.
The Miami Dolphins will be starting their season on the road with a W at Indianapolis, Robert.
Agreed.
Then they will be going back home to Miami in hot weather to host the New England Patriots. I'm going to be taking them for a W in that one as well.
Me too.
They will be getting their first loss of the season, as I think we both have already stated, facing the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo.
Correct.
Then they go back home to host the New York Jets on Monday Night Football.
Wait, no, I lied to you. I took Miami to win that.
Against Buffalo?
Yep.
I have them as a loss. You have them as a win.
Okay, week 4 is where?
At home in Miami against the Jets.
So I have them 4-0.
I have them as a W right now for that. Next week, excuse me, they will be heading on the road to face the Carolina Panthers, Robbie, and I'm taking a loss. I think they're going to. I don't know why.
They can't win 5 in a row.
Then they will be going back home to face John Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, and the LA Chargers. And I'm going to take them for a loss in that one too, Robbie.
Me too.
And then they're going to get OW, Robbie, because they will be heading on the road to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns. W for the Dolphins.
Easily. You might have the Browns at 17, aren't you?
Yeah, they're going to be pretty. I might have winning 1 or 2. We're going to take one against the Bengals, who do every year. Staying on the road, heading to Atlanta this time to face the Falcons. I will have a W for the Dolphins.
ATL. Me as well.
And then, Robbie, Thursday, October 30th, it is a big fat loss for the Dolphins, who will be hosting the Baltimore Ravens.
Easily.
They will be staying at home going into, what is this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Going into week 10.
Okay, I just make sure you bring up their bye.
The bye is coming up. But Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills.
Heading to Miami, right?
Coming to Miami. I just want to make sure that I had
Buffalo winning.
I believe I had Buffalo winning as well. Oh, this is going to be confusing. Next week, Robbie, hosting the Washington Commanders. I'm going to take the Commanders. Oh, that's a London game, though, so that's a fake host.
Is it week 11 or 12?
That would be week 11, and then 12 is their bye week.
Thank you. So it's in London?
It's in London, 9:30 a.m. I'm going to take Washington.
Oh, easily.
Then we go into a bye week. So I'm actually going to skip for the bye week. I didn't do that for the first one like an idiot. I'm going to give them the W, Robbie, hosting, again, that's 4 weeks in a row they're the home team, the New Orleans Saints.
Agreed.
Then they're going on the road for the next 2 weeks. First week, they're heading to New York to face the Jets.
That's an L.
I'm going to take them as a W in that. And then we are going to Pittsburgh.
That's an L.
To face the Steelers. I'm going to take a loss in that one. And then, Robbie, we are heading back home for the next 2 weeks, where the first homestand they will be facing in Sunday Night Football with a big fat loss to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Agreed.
And week after that, they will be hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they will also suffer a big fat loss.
Yeah, I have them going a little bit of a schneid here.
Yep, and Robbie, I'm going to take them with a loss to end off the season at Foxborough against the Patriots.
Me too. 2 is dead. That's the only reason I can think of.
Okay, I have the Dolphins not doing great next year.
I have the Dolphins winning 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I have the Dolphins going 7 and 10.
I have the Dolphins going 8 and 9.
All right, let's go with the Jets. I want to save my team for last.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I have this correct here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'll just fucking do it as I go. I feel like I'm fucking this up.
Let me tell you
Jets.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Lesson learned for next week. We'll be more prepared.
Yes, 100%. Well, you know what I should have been doing is what I think I'm going to start doing from here on out is when they have a division like matchup, I'm going to write the team name beside the W or the L instead of just writing W or L. Because now I can't remember what my picks were.
You're hot.
Okay. The New York Jets, Robbie. Oh, man, are they going to have a tough season next year? Are you ready?
No. You have to wait for me to give out the additions and departures.
Yes, sir. Go on. Yep.
For the Jets, it's only 2 additions. The new head coach, Aaron Glenn, and Justin Fields. There was nothing more to add.
Robbie, give me 1 second. I got to open up this fucking screen door. It's harder than Mia Khalifa on her prime in here.
I could actually legitimately kind of see what's the word I'm looking for? The moisture.
It's hot. I have no AC right now, so give me 1 second to open up my door.
No problem. Take your time. Folks, if Zachary doesn't open up that door, we're going to have to call his girlfriend because unless that motherfucker would be dead. One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, while Zach is gone, I'll give you the additions and departures for the New York Jets. There's still 2 additions to go through for the Jets. That's it. Because the rest of the additions are not worth noting.
No.
Just let it be known that this was a Super Bowl contending team allegedly last season. Completely different going into the season. The additions, Aaron Glenn, the former Lions defensive coordinator, is their new head coach, and Justin Fields.
Just starting off here, Robbie, I feel like they're going to have a tough season here because their first 2 weeks are at home, starting off the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You fucking cocksucker.
What?
Shut your mouth. I'm not done yet. Shut your
Sorry. Well, I don't know if you're... You blab sometimes, so.
Yeah, well, you have no AC for a reason. Nothing? You got nothing?
You better fucking hurry up over there, all right?
Have you been taking extremely cold showers with this lack of air conditioning?
I've had a few, I wouldn't call them extremely cold, but a few room temp showers.
All right, departures: Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Tyrone Smith, offensive tackle, Morgan Moses, guard, CJ Mosley retired, Hassan Reddick, linebacker, I believe he went to Tampa Bay, and DJ Reed, corner. So that's a lot of departures.
A lot of departures, and I think it's going to really hurt them this year, Robbie. I mean, I've already shot my load on the first one here. I'm taking them a loss at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is going to get fucking booed like hell.
Oh yeah, starting off in week 1 too. I love the schedule making there.
Call me crazy. I'm taking the Jets.
Wow. Okay. Well, we both had them as a loss in week 2, Robbie.
We have to keep these together. We have to keep these together because when we go to the North, if we go, oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to win, never going to look at jackass.
Yeah. They're facing the Buffalo Bills, Robbie, at home in week 2, and I'm taking that as another loss.
Yeah, we took the Bills.
Yeah. Robbie, then they were heading on the road for 2 tough games. First, starting off in one state of Florida with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a loss. Then they will be heading. You have a loss in that one?
Yep.
Then they're taking their talents to the other side of Miami, or Florida, rather. Oopsies. To face Miami. That's a loss.
We took Miami. Yep, we both took Miami.
Miami beside that.
Okay.
MIA and Bills were week 2. Okay, Robbie. Next week after this, we have ourselves another loss as they will be hosting the Dallas. Why was I about to call them the Stars? The Dallas Cowboys.
I agree.
0-5 I have for the Jets right now. They will be hosting.
I have 1-4.
This one is another cross seas game here, heading into week 6, where they will be, I guess, the home team, quote unquote, against the Denver Broncos. Robbie,
To know.
I'm going to take their first W against Denver.
I won't.
Then they will be hosting the Carolina Panthers, which I think they are going to lose.
Yep.
Then they are heading in to the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium to play Cincinnati in Cincinnati, Robbie, with a loss.
That's a no.
Heading into the bye week now, so skip a little space. Robbie, then they will be hosting my Cleveland Browns.
That's a win.
I'm going to take a loss. Let's go, Cleveland. The week after that, Robbie, they are heading to Foxborough to face the New England Patriots.
That's a no.
I'm going to take a loss. Then, Robbie, they are going to get another loss because they are heading to Baltimore to face the Ravens.
Taking an L.
Robbie, they have a chance in this one, and I'm actually going to take them with the W just for the uncertainty of what Atlanta is going to look like. They will be hosting the Falcons.
Taking a W. Well,
I'm going to take a W there. You have an L there?
no, I have a W for the Jets.
Okay. Then they will be hosting the Miami Dolphins, which I'm pretty sure I have as... Did I have as a loss for Miami? No, I have that as a win.
did.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a loss.
I'm going to take a win for the Jets. I had the Jets as a win.
And then they will be ending it off, Robbie, with 3 out of the next 4 games on the road, starting off, heading to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. You know what?
I'm taking.
I'm going to take them with a big fat loss.
Yeah. Who's their
then they will
backup
be heading.
Who's their backup at Jacksonville? Because Mac Jones went to San Fran.
God, you're asking the wrong guy. And then they will be heading Sunday, December 21st, to New Orleans to face the Saints in New Orleans. I'm going to take them with a W in that.
I'm really, because they have no quarterback there, but Kellen Moore is an offensive wizard. Defense wins championships. I'll take the Jets. That's a win.
Ending off their season the next 2 weeks here. Starting off this one, the last home game they have, they will be hosting the New England Patriots.
Janelle.
I'm going to take them with a big fat loss in that one, Robbie.
Thank you.
And ending it off with yet another loss for a pitiful season, they'll be heading into Buffalo to face the Buffalo Bills. Big loss.
Yeah, I had the Jets with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. So 5 and 12.
Jeez, I have them 3 and 14.
I mean, it's not out of the equation, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the Patriots and we'll end our NFL talk here. So the Patriots, call me biased in a way that I made this list. I really wasn't trying to be biased.
Robbie, while you're doing this list, because I feel like we're going to be going a little bit longer today, I got to piss. I got to piss.
I got to pee so bad too.
Okay, well, you do the list, you pee, and then I pee, and then I come back and you pee.
Intermission.
Okay, pee break, folks. All right, turn this shit off.
I was about to rip my shirt off for you.
Oh, let's keep that shirt on.
I probably could rip the shirt. Do you want to see?
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, folks. And by folks, probably Dad.
There's Tanner. Tanner, you already missed I threw my Marner jersey off the wall and everything.
Tanner, we're going to make a clip for you. Well, Zach will make a clip for you.
Yeah. Me and Tanner got a nice early morning round of golf.
Wait. Tanner.
Saturday morning.
Outside of Bye Mitchie, tell us your true feelings about Mitch Marner, because we alluded our feelings. We'd like to hear. Throw it off the balcony. Zach, no fucking balls.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not even going to lie to you. I actually did think about doing that for this episode, but I do live on a somewhat major road, and my thought was, if I throw this off the balcony and it gets thrown onto some car's windshield and they crash into a storefront and someone dies.
I'm going to just leave that comment up there. Are you soft?
No, he's saying that about Mitch Marner, you fucking donkey. You just asked him about what Mitch Marner was.
Tanner, put no balls in the comments. Please put no balls in there.
All money. He's very right. Too soft, all money.
Tanner, put no balls.
No, don't read that shit.
Tanner, do it.
Robbie, we got fucking... We still have MLB we need to talk about. It's almost been a 2-hour episode.
It's going to be a 2-hour episode. We've been off for 2 weeks, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Burn it, Zach.
Burn it, Zach.
Bob,
Jesus Christ. What am I, Al-Qaeda?
No, the Yankees are at a 0-0 rain delay.
We're going to get into that dumpster fire of a squad. But first, Robbie, let's get into this squad here.
Before we do, we got to do with the rivals and departures.
Yes.
I always give you shit for taking a piss. Wow, is that refreshing?
Yeah, I pissed so hard. And then I'm going to be honest with you, Robbie. I came back and I hit a bowl. Yep. So We're feeling good. We're feeling loose.
Anyways, New England.
Ready to get mildly racist.
No, don't do that. You stupid.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I put a lot of names here in the additions and departures, but I kind of feel like when you look at the roster that they had last season to what they're going to with this season, I guess it makes sense why I did both. And maybe we'll do the same thing for the Browns. I did not mention their offensive lineman that they guarded. I think it was Will Campbell. I did not mention him as the additions, nor did I mention any of the. Maybe we will for Tennessee when we get to that point with Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Additions for the Patriots. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs, that's most notable. Offensive tackle Morgan Moses, which was part of the Jets' departures.
It's a Blue Jays home run.
Good home run.
Davis Schneider, he's been fucking just fire hot. But we'll get into the Jays in a little bit here.
Stephon Diggs, offensive tackle Morgan Moses, linebacker Harold Landry, who has had time with head coach Mike Vrabel, who is another addition coming in from Tennessee. Carlton Davis from Tampa Bay, 3-year, $60 million contract. Milton Williams, defensive end, who was with the Eagles last year, who, by the way, signed a 4-year, $104 million contract, which is an all-time record for highest paid Patriot player in NFL history, or not NFL, excuse me, New England Patriots history. Matt Collins, Josh Dobbs, and Garrett Bradbury, who is former center for the Vikings.
Thank you, Tanner. He does look a lot like me out there. Sorry, I just had to cut you off there, Robbie. It does look a lot like me. I crank balls. Oh.
You don't.
Don't crank balls.
Yeah.
I hit balls hard with a bat.
That's gay.
Not cranking no one's balls here, folks. So get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah, you already said it. Departures for the Patriots, center David Andrews, who was the last remaining Patriot player on roster from any of those Super Bowl winning teams. So it's a fresh slate. Defensive tackle Dietrich Wise, quarterback Jonathan Jones, Joe Milton, who is now at Dallas Cowboys, Davin Godchuk, defensive end, and Jacoby Brissett.
It's a lot of departures and additions right there, Robert.
It's a whole new team.
Well, this whole new team is ready for the season, Robbie, and load up your scores here, folks, because week 1.
Already. And by the way, folks, when we do our weekly picks, those will be different from these picks because those weekly picks will be based off of injuries, trades, whatever.
Robbie, you guys, starting week 1, will be hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm going to count that as a W for your New England Patriots starting off strong.
That is not as easy as you think. Don't forget they have Geno Smith. They drafted Ashton Genty. Who the fuck's their tight end that went off, dude? Who's their tight end? He went off.
Dad. The rookie. Brock Bowers.
Dad. Brock Bowers. Okay, we didn't need Dad. Good job. Brock Bowers.
I am Dad.
That's tough. It's 2 new teams, 2 new quarterbacks, 2 new head coaches, but defense wins championships. I scribbled them out from the W originally. I'm going to put them back as a W. Patriots win.
There you go. Heading into week 2, Robbie, they are on the road heading into Miami to face the Dolphins. I'm going to chalk that up as a loss because I had Miami with that win.
I did too.
All right, so we have a 1-1 record here. It still continues to be a little bit tough. They're heading back home to host the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to take that as a loss for the Patriots.
Me too.
Staying at home, heading into week 4, they will be hosting the Carolina Panthers, where I'm going to take them in for the win.
Me too.
Then they're heading on the road for the next 3 weeks. Couple winnable games here, though. Sunday Night Football, they will be heading into Buffalo. So I'm going to take that as a loss.
Would I take that as?
You had that as a loss, and then you had Buffalo. You guys beating Buffalo at New England on week 18, I think it was.
I had the list in front of my face.
Okay, I'm just telling you. I know what you had.
I love you.
It's what you had, isn't it?
I love you.
Yeah. Heading into the next week, Robbie, you guys will be hosting the New Orleans Saints, and I'm going to count that as a W.
Win. Hold on. What's this? Okay, never mind. We're good.
Next week here, Robbie, now heading into week 7, you guys will be hosting the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to count this a W.
Dude. Slaughter.
Here's where it gets interesting, Robbie.
Question.
Yep.
If the spread is Patriots minus 8.5, are you hammering them?
I don't know if I'm hammering minus 8.5.
I will. You don't think Mike Vrabel's going to do whatever it takes to victimize Tennessee?
Probably, but we're not talking about like a powerhouse in New England. You know what I mean? They have some stuff they got to figure out.
Even Tennessee, like
Tennessee's terrible, but so were the Patriots last year, Robbie. Let's be honest here; they weren't great.
They got a whole new thing. Oh, look at that!
Oh shit, dude! Yeah, the next 3 games. Yeah, I said that. The next 3 games are on the road.
They were hosting. You said they were hosting.
Oh, my apologies. Heading into Tennessee, I'm still going to count that as a W for him.
I think I might have to fire you to have Dad as a new co-host.
I did say about getting to Buffalo. The next 3 games were on the road. I'm pretty sure. I thought.
Trevor,
how are? Yeah, it's still on. All right, Trevor. We still have baseball to talk about here. We're gonna be here until 10:30 tonight.
Most likely. Okay. Week 8 or week 9?
Okay, so my apologies, Robbie. They are heading to New Orleans and to Tennessee for the next 2 weeks. You still have them as a WW?
Wait, so they're going to New Orleans week 6?
Yes.
You're a retard.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Now they're heading back home, Robbie, to host my boys, the Cleveland Browns. That's a loss.
Yeah, you think
that's a loss.
Okay, Zach, I'll tell you what. I'll give you 2 touchdowns.
Okay, if you're going to give me 2 touchdowns, I'll take that.
But if we beat you by more than 2 touchdowns, you have to do that episode of the Sports Cave shirtless.
Sure.
With your door open.
Sure. And if we beat you guys or lose by less than 2 touchdowns, you have to never take your shirt off.
How's that going to happen? How am I going to shower?
On the show. You have to keep your shirt on 24/7.
When have I ever taken my shirt off on the show?
Well, let's keep it that way.
I happen to let you know, after this weekend trip to Canada, we're going to Moncton. Are you familiar with Moncton?
I am.
I will not be drinking. I'll be on a very strict diet till my 30th. Trevor, we went through the entirety of the AFC East. Let's just give Trevor a recap because Trevor is, on air, low key. Trevor, I had the Bills going 12-5, the Dolphins going 7-10, the Jets 5-12.
And I have the Bills going 11-6, Dolphins going 8-9, and the Jets going 3-14.
So we're going through every team, and Trevor, we're going to do this for up until the NFL season. We're going to go through to every division, every team of how these teams are going to do. Too high for the Dolphins. Trevor hates the Dolphins, given the market he works in.
Well, just going through their schedule, they got some winnable games this year.
They do, Trev. Okay, so right now I have the Patriots at 5-4. Where are we going, to week 9 or week 10?
We are going into week. That's a good question here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going into week 9, Robbie.
Okay.
By the way, I was joking. I actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it. Fuck it. They're losing to Cleveland. Week 9, they are going to be hosting the Atlanta Falcons, Robbie. I'm going to take this as a W for your Patriots. Okay, heading into week 10, you guys have a late bye week, Robbie.
Okay.
Heading into week 10, you guys are on the road going into Tampa Bay where you're going to suffer a pitiful loss.
Incorrect. We're going to win.
That's a loss. You guys will be heading back home for week 11, Thursday night football against the New York Jets.
Jets week 11. Okay, that's a win.
Yeah, I'm going to take that as a W for you guys too. Boom. Okay, Robbie. Going into week 12, tough one for you guys. On the road, heading into Cincinnati to face the Bengals, that's going to be a loss.
Yep.
Okay, week 13. Still no bye week, Robbie, if we're keeping count. Week 13, you guys will be heading back home to host the New York Giants, where you guys will come out with a victory.
I want to go to that game low-key.
Probably a cheaper game. I'm going to take you guys with a W on that one. It's a Monday nighter.
It's December 4th, I think, or 5th?
December 1st.
December 1st.
Yeah, with the W there?
Hold on, you said that's a Monday night game?
Yeah, Monday night, 8:15.
That's going to be changed. It has to be changed.
Yeah, Patriots vs. Giants on MNF is probably going to get slotted to a fucking Sunday afternoon 1 o'clock game.
Yeah. Trevor, let me tell you something, okay? Drake May from North Carolina loves that heat. We're going to win.
You have that as a W right there, Robert?
Of course I do. I'm biased.
Okay. Then you guys are heading into your bye week in week 13. Week 14, you come off the bye week to host the Buffalo Bills.
No, that's week 15.
Week 15, sorry then. My apologies.
You suck.
Week 15, you will be hosting the Buffalo Bills where you will catch a loss.
I had that as a win.
Robbie, it does not get any easier because you are heading into week 16 on the road to face the Baltimore Ravens.
That's an L.
That's a loss. Week 16 or 17, maybe. 17.
Yes.
Classic. You guys will be heading to New York to face the Jets, where I think you will come up with a victory.
Yeah, I have that as well.
And then you guys will be ending off your season at home against the Miami Dolphins, in which I think you guys will lose.
What?
Yes.
You're crazy.
Because I had the Dolphins. I'm looking now. I have the Dolphins winning the... Oh, never mind. My apologies. You guys are winning. Sorry. I had the Dolphins losing that game. So you guys will win, rather. So I have the Patriots finishing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins, Robbie. I got the Patriots finishing 9-8.
You're a scumbag. I had them going 11-6.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Why?
It's not going to happen.
Why?
Because they're going to finish 9-8. It's guaranteed.
Yeah. The Patriots FanDuel thing, I think, is 7.5. So we both have the over.
I'm closer to it, though. Way closer to that over.
Doesn't matter. We're over. You want to make out?
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Robbie, I think that's it for our NFL talk for today, my friend. Why don't we try to purr through this? We got a lot of MLB to go over here.
I know we do. Hold on.
Get the soundbite. Get the fucking soundbite. Get it. Get the soundbite. Get the soundbite. Get the soundbite.
I hit it. Do you want me to hit it again? I was on the MLB page. I didn't even notice that you unplugged your mic again. You're not even connected. And this is why my co-host is an amateur. Dad has them at 10. I've been saying that they should win 10 games this year, Dad.
This is not coming through my regular mic. I know it.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yep, you're good.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, Robbie, we got some MLB to go over here, Robbie, and I feel like we would be remiss not to talk about this here first, because last time we did a podcast, the New York Yankees had, I'm not going to say a comfortable lead atop of the AL East, but they had a decent little lead atop of the AL East. And Robbie, that lead is no longer. After 6 losses in a row for the Yankees, including a 4-game sweep to my Toronto Blue Jays, the tide has changed. And the Blue Jays lead the AL East now, with the Yankees falling down, Robbie. And these are the questions that need to be asked here. Is that another Jack? Or is that just for the Jays? I mean, the Jays are red hot right now. We're going to get in a second here. But, Robbie, is there any concern on your end as to what is happening here? I know you've publicly come out and kind of written them off since the Garrett Cole injury. But, it was looking good for them. And they're still a great baseball team. Don't get me wrong. They're going through a bit of a slump, but obviously baseball is that sport where that can turn around. But as it sits right now, is there any sort of panic settling in your belly? Uh-oh.
No, it's just rising from the dead. I think I saw a tweet, Zach, where it's been like the last 3 years in June's have been the worst month for the Yankees all season. Outside of, I think it was 2022, August was the worst.
Sorry. before I cut you off, and Bob's made a good point now. I just to add some insult to injury here, probably another starting pitcher going down with Clark Schmidt, Robbie, and continue.
You can let me bring that up as if I didn't know that.
And continue, sir. Yeah.
Why don't you listen to the Stripe show on Podbean? Huh?
And continue.
Yes, I thought, shut your mouth. Shut your fucking pie hole. No, I don't think the season's over, but I got to drink because I'm going to get very angry.
You should start yelling and screaming.
I'd love to. My old grandfather's probably sleeping. I like to show him some respect. I was apartment hunting, so maybe soon. I'm trying to deal with these couple months, man. I really am. I give you kudos. You have a great job where you can afford a beautiful condo/apartment to live on your own. I'm a freak. It's crazy. I make good money, but just like the market here in Connecticut's ridiculous. Okay,
you're talking ridiculous. I'm paying fucking $2,300 a month for this damn place.
Yeah, but you're making 40 something an hour, aren't you?
54.
Yeah, you're making double what. But I mean, Canadian money's not as good as American money, so you're probably making close to double money than I am. Okay. But folks, that can all change if you hit like, subscribe, and share the podcast. You see the segue I did there? You see the segue? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Or become a union electrician. They pay well.
Yeah, but I don't want to get shocked. How do you deal with that? Especially
then you wake yourself up. I haven't been shocked in a while, but I've had some good shocks in my day.
In the winter, dude, that's got to stop. That's going to suck.
No, it kind of wakes you up a little bit in the morning.
See, I'm very staticky, so I deal a lot. Okay, back to the Yankees.
Yeah, let's go.
If I was to make the Yankees lineup, leading off would be Jason Dominguez was your hottest hitter against both you and the Mets, and I think he led off once, and they dropped him. Dominguez needs to be lead off, followed by Jazz, followed by Judge, followed by Bellinger, Stanton, and either Ben Rice or Goldie, Volpe, Wells, and now it looks like Peraza after the latest news that DJ LeMahieu will not be playing third base. Hold on. DJ LeMahieu will not be playing. And it's crazy, too, because LeMahieu's bat has actually been pretty good since he came up to the – let me get DJ LeMahieu's numbers here.
LeMahieu?
You know damn well DJ LeMahieu. You guys almost had DJ LeMahieu, don't you forget?
Keyword almost. We don't need that loser.
Yeah, okay. Dude, you're so retarded.
I'm first place in the AL East. That's what I am.
Is batting 266 with a 674 OPS. I mean, the OPS isn't impressive, but LeMahieu's always been a batting average machine. My God, Zach. Back in 2016, when he played 146 games for Colorado, he batted 348. That's nuts, dude.
Take a bit of a step back since then.
No. In 2019 with the Yankees, he batted 327 with 26 home runs and 102 RBIs.
Well, 2019 was 6 years ago. I'm just telling you the facts. You just mute your mic to call me a fajot?
Oh, good lips there. Good lips. I did. I was trying to see if you think I would say something else. I'm not worried. We're gonna go into July. We got swept by you guys. We lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. I'm not worried. Dominguez is batting leadoff. Jazz is back at second. Peraza is at third. LeMahieu's bat has been pretty good, so it's disappointing to see him go on the bench. Stanton's back. When we lost to you guys, it wasn't because of hitting. Our pitching was not on point, and you know this. Pitching was not on point, and now with the loss of Clark Schmidt, that kind of sucks. But Luis Gil will be back after the All-Star break, the Rookie of the Year last year, so that's a key addition. This trade deadline really isn't as sexy as it's been the last couple seasons, so they're really going to be reliant on their young pitchers. Zach, when we lost Soto and Garrett Cole, I told you this season we're not going to go to the World Series, and I stick by that. We are not going to go to the World Series this year, and even if we do, we will lose if we go into the World Series. Yep. Last year, I was confident we were going to win it. Game 1, Aaron Boone flushed it all when we put Nestor Cortez over Tim Hill. So I have no hopes on to this upcoming season. I'm hoping maybe Bellinger can continue. Bellinger, I think I saw a tweet. Let me see if I can look. Marcus, thank God Marcus isn't here because he would get so pissed. You know how he feels about Cody Bellinger. Wait, what's this? Okay, Brian De La Cruz and Everson Pereira. Okay, hold on, Zach. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
If I retweet it here. No, I didn't. I did not retweet. But Bellinger has been batting fantastic since the month of May, which, by the way, Bellinger has better numbers than J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez, and J-Rod made the All-Star team over Cody Bellinger, which makes no sense. Bellinger is literally being in almost every statistical offensive category. So when the injuries come up, maybe Bellinger sneaks in. We'll see. I'm not too worried about the Yankee season. There's a reason why they had as many games up as they did. You guys, I don't know how you guys are doing it, and I think you can agree to that. The run differential.
Yeah, it's quite shocking.
I think we have a bigger run differential than you guys. I just think that when you guys are losing games, you're getting slaughtered. When you're winning games, it's close. It's close battles because we're in second behind you guys. We're 3.5 out. You guys have oh my God, you guys have won 9 in a row. Number one.
Looks like we're on the verge of winning 10 in a row right now. We're putting up a good performance against the White Sox.
You're 32-16 at home, 21-22 on the road. You have a plus 16 run differential where we have a plus 95 run differential. And the Tampa Bay Rays, who are in third, are at a plus 65 run differential.
That's what it's all about. And I want to just bring up your father's little comments here. He always brings up Alek Manoah. Does it look like we need Alek Manoah, Bob? You want to clean the crust out of your eyeballs. The Jays don't need Alek Manoah, okay? That fat fuck could never play a game for this team again, and I wouldn't care.
Are you sure about that?
Why would we need Alek Manoah? The pitching's been pretty good, pretty solid this year.
Because he says pressure is what you put in tires.
And it didn't work out for him. He is clearly pre-diabetic, and he is spiraling out of control.
Pre-diabetic is crazy. Oh, man. That's funny, Zach. You need him.
Yeah, you need therapy, Bob. Now, what do we got here?
We're on the wrong thing. Oh, well. So no, I'm not too worried about the Yankees season. I mean, we still have July, August, September, so we'll see what happens. However, Zach, as much as we wanted to bash on my Yankees, you almost gave up on your Blue Jays team. What do you got to say about your Toronto Blue Jays?
Well, they're definitely they are the story of the year.
No, they're not.
So far for MLB. Yeah.
No, they're not.
No one expected the Blue Jays to even be comparable this year, and they are leading the AL East. They are absolutely fantastic.
They're not the story.
They're the story.
No, they're not.
Who's the story then?
Detroit Tigers.
I mean, they're a good story too, but they were always good. They were good last year. They made it to the fucking. They made it to the ALCS last year.
No, they didn't, you moron.
Did they lose the Yankees in the championship series?
Oh, they lost to Cleveland in the division, you moron.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Looking it up right now.
We throw $100 on it. American.
You're probably right, to be honest with you. I mean, it's
I'm the baseball, like this is like me judging your knowledge of hockey. By the way, he said yes, he's going to bet 100 American on this.
Did not do that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. $100 coming my way.
Yeah, they lost to Cleveland. 3-2 there.
Nope. Yeah, they lost Cleveland. Yeah, you fucking.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all right. Anywho, it's still a pretty good run for him last year, but
you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
The Tigers are up 14 games. It's the second place wins in that division. So that one, you can pretty much just hang the banner for the division champions this year.
You think the Tigers should be buyers?
I mean, it's like, do they really? I wouldn't hurt to bring in a couple, bigger pieces if they're available. But the team is clearly
trade deadline. I just don't know.
I'm not too sure, and I don't know what they've done with Javi Baez this year, but he has been resurrected.
Well, he's kind of slowed down a lot. The Tigers fans showed off in terms of getting their all-stars in, but Javi Baez has slowed down a lot. I think it was just that's the problem with the fan vote, man. That is it's just like when we all know how great Kobe was, but the last couple of years of his career, he was not Kobe, but there's a difference between Kobe and Javi Baez obviously, my point is like fan votes can ruin who truly deserves to be a starter at the end of the day. And now when you have the power of social media compared to when it was all MLB's website, that's the other concern.
Yeah, you are right about that.
I know I am. Say it again.
No, you're wrong. You're stupid.
Breaking news, kind of, sort of, not really. Tampa Bay Rays Junior Caminero has been announced as all-star replacement for Alex Bregman.
Breaking news.
There you go.
All right, what else we got here for baseball, Robert?
You tell me. I wrote down notes.
Okay, well, let's start off right here. We'll end off the show by announcing the all-star spots here. So let's get through this news first. Yu Darvish making his return to the mound for the San Diego Padres.
How do you do?
That's a very good question, Robbie. Let me pop this up.
I'll give you the answer, you stupid son of a bitch.
Don't think that was necessary at all, but...
Son of a bitch. Sorry, that wasn't necessary.
That wasn't necessary at all.
Okay. Well, they lost 6-3. Box score. Padres. Okay. Yu Darvish. Oh man, 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He has a 4.91 ERA start season. They're 0-1 with Yu Darvish.
Yeah, that ain't gonna get the job done. You idiot.
Zach.
You idiot. It's because his name is you.
I'm curious. How old do you think Yu Darvish is if you had to take this?
32.
Oh, not even close.
No.
He's 38.
Oh my God! Well, you know what? He's Asian. Those guys look like they don't age.
We have the same birthday. What's my birthday? This will test our friendship. What's my birthday?
August 16th.
I'll make out with you when I see you.
Okay.
It is August. Are you coming to my 30th? Zach, unplug his microphone once again. That's what he gets for insulting me. You're still not connected.
No, I will not be coming to your 30th.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Your microphone just not working. Now it's coming through your laptop.
Nice. Now, I just need to figure out how... Okay, hold on.
And we're back, folks. We are back. So we're back.
Do you have your stand still?
It's at my parents' house. But let's keep going here, Robbie.
All right.
Nationals have fired their GM and manager mid-season, Robert.
The manager deserves to be fired more than the general manager. And the reason I say that is when you look at the Juan Soto trade, I think they got both James Woods and CJ Abrams in that trade, and both are performing pretty well. Clearly an impatient process. Dave Martinez did not deserve to be the manager of that team no longer, but the GM deserved to stay. So the Nationals right now, let's go to the standings really quick here. Standings. The Nationals in the NL East, they are in last. They're 15.5 out of Philly. And in terms of the wild card here, they're second to last, tied with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, not looking good. I mean, I guess a firing was necessary.
Zach, in the AL, the team with the worst run differential is minus 140. Could you guess the team?
That is going to be in the AL.
Mm-hmm.
White Sox.
White Sox are minus 88.
Athletics.
Minus 140. In the NL, the worst team with the worst run differential is minus 235.
Rockies.
Yeah. Minus 235.
They're the worst team I've ever seen in professional baseball, Rob.
Oh my God.
I'm actually kind of considering trying out for the Colorado Rockies at this point.
Do you remember? I think it was 2 years ago. You know how like some amusement parks or ballparks have like the throwing machine, you guess your speed?
Yeah.
Guy was throwing 97. Colorado signed him.
There it is. I mean, I know those machines, Robbie, because I was able to purr a nice 72 once on one of those machines. So it's like no big deal or anything like that. But
You said 37?
72.
Bullshit.
That's what I threw.
You cannot throw harder than me.
I threw 72 mph.
You want views for our freaking social media sites?
I'll throw you. I got a rocket arm over here.
I do have a messed up shoulder, but I think I throw harder than you.
Well, like I just told you, I got mine clocked on a radar at 72 mph.
Are you sure it's not kilometers?
I'm 100% sure because I made sure to ask the guy afterwards. I was like, that's kind of embarrassing. He was like, oh, so is that mph? He said, yep.
72 is pretty good.
Yeah. I beat all my there was a thing we were at, like I was with buddies that had played baseball like their entire lives, and I beat every single one of them.
Kyle?
No, not Kyle. My buddy Josh Brown, who, according to his father, would have been a professional baseball player if he continued playing baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the worst dads.
What else we got here, Rob? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I gotta piss again like a racehorse. I broke the seal.
It's fine. What else do we have, buddy?
We have ourselves that the Pirates have now made it known that Paul Skeens and Andrew McCutcheon are not available for trade. Not that surprising there, but
Skeens they should think about.
I mean, they would get quite the package for it, but I also think like what if Pittsburgh had to.
This is his last year. He just want to get over 300 home runs, so I think he just wants to finish this year at Pittsburgh. Got to break the seal. Drink some beer.
Yeah. Well, Robbie, we also, if we're talking about trades here, what do you think about Jarren Duran?
Boston's going to trade him.
Yeah, I just think the way that division's going, like he might as well try to not rebuild, but just kind of gain as many assets.
They had 3 All-Stars. They had Bregman before the replacement that I mentioned, Crochet, and Chapman. And Chapman's going to get traded too, most likely. Boston's trying to go the Tampa route, except they have money. Yankees have been going the same way as well, but the Yankees have been winning.
It's a bit of a weird situation.
Yeah, Red Sox fans, I think, are like excited because they see Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony. Not every prospect's going to hit. Zach, I hate to throw you in the equation here, but you know this. Vladdy's hit. Bo Bichette has been. Where would you put Bo Bichette as? Good, great, in between?
He's been in between. He's been in between. He's showing spurts of greatness, but it's also showing a lot of spurts of goodness.
Kevin Biggio, not good. Alec Manaea. We're going to go with not good with the pitch clock. Nate Pearson.
Terrible.
Not good. So, like, not every prospect hits, brother.
No, you got that right, sir. You got that right.
I only threw you in there because when you move on from Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion, this is supposed to be your next group. And it's been an up and down battle for you in Blue Jays Nation.
But the battle's up right now. The battle is, in fact, up. Let's keep her going, baby.
By the way, Yankee fans going to Johnny's DMs, I can see why Johnny's a troll. I could see.
Yeah, that's what he's good at right there.
You know what he was good at? Coming on one episode, never again. Fuck you, Johnny.
Okay. Robbie, Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Zach Wheeler says he is hanging up the cleats after his contract expires in 2027.
This could impact his Hall of Fame legacy.
How old is he?
I think he's 35.
I can't hold this in, Robbie. I gotta pee. I have to do it. I can't hold it in. 30 seconds.
We were almost done. All right. I'll get you guys Zach Wheeler's age. Poor Zach. Zach Roden, that is. Zach Wheeler. Why do I hear weird sound effects in the back of Zach? Zach Roden, that is. Zach Wheeler. Where's this motherfucker's seat? Graham Crackers, Amazon. What the hell? Get out of my. What the hell is it? Get away. Catnip. Amazon will not let me tell you folks what the hell this guy's freaking batting average is. Zach?
That was so necessary, dude. That was I think I took fucking the porcelain off my toilet. Yep.
I tried loading up Zach Wheeler twice. I hit refresh. The first one was something about food, and the second one was catnip with Amazon. So I couldn't even tell you till just right now. He was born in May of 1990. His contract. Marshmallows, graham crackers, and bug spray. Amazon.
He's going to retire like about 37, I think, is the age.
You're saying that because of my notes.
No, I'm seeing because if he's born in 1990, he's 6 years older than I am. I'm turning 29. He's going to be 35. If you retire in 2 years, he's going to be 37.
I wish I had his contract up here. Oh, signed 2027. Yeah, he'll be 37 when he retires.
I mean, it's a good fucking age to retire.
Zach, do we have any more notes for baseball? We've been on this for a long time.
The only thing we have is if you want to go through all the all-star starters and all that shit, or yeah,
we have to.
And
the home run derby.
Just rifle them off, and then we'll be good to go. This is the longest episode I think in Sports Cave history here.
One of, but it feels that way. What time do you get up for work still? You still get up for
4:30.
Yeah, we're both fucked. I nominate you to do the podcast.
Me.
Deal? Yeah, you.
When?
Tonight. You got to edit it for me tonight. I nominate you.
Oh, it's bad. I haven't even made dinner yet, for fuck's sakes.
Damn it. Oh, come on, MLB, you stupid fucking idiots. I almost said a different word. MLB. Oh, my God, dude. I just want to see what the home run derby's looking like.
Well, just off the top of my head, I know we got Cal Riley, and that's all I remember.
I don't want to buy tickets. I just want to see what the freaking derby is, dude. This is what's wrong with MLB. This is what's wrong with MLB.
I'll fucking find it right now.
All-Star Village. What? Why is this the way it is? Homer Derby X? Yes.
All right, I got it right here, Robbie.
Okay, give it to me. Pause.
Okay. In this draft, in the home run derby, we have Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, but that makes sense. They're in Atlanta. That makes sense.
We have Cal Riley.
Okay.
We have James Wood of the Nationals.
Okay.
We have Byron Buxton of the Twins.
No.
And we have O'Neal Cruz of the Pirates.
That's it? We have 5 of 8 right now?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, we'll save for next week. Jesus Christ. Jesus, are you serious?
I got 5 of 8 from MLB.com.
That's what I was trying to find out too. That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
When is the MLB All-Star game?
It's Tuesday. A week today.
They haven't gotten 8 spots yet?
Here are maybe it's only 5.
No, it's always 8.
Sluggers for this year. Yes, we have a Ronald. Yeah, this is all I'm getting here. Hold on. Let's see if I
Where's Jeff Passan?
Bob, are you seeing anything else here? I think I'm only seeing these guys. Not yet. Yeah, so they've only released the 5. Getting a little bit late here to release, like, you know what I mean? Like, they should have thrown out the 3 a while ago.
That's honestly pathetic. Oh, Miguel Cairo is the new manager for the Nationals. Good for them. Oh, we didn't mention Cleveland Guardians, Luis Ortiz, for 2 individual pitches that look in terms of gambling.
Yeah,
and they were both terrible balls. Yeah,
and there was massive strikes on him throwing balls on those 2 pitches for the gambling websites.
Really bad. The full starters right now for the AL All-Star team are as catcher Cal Riley, Seattle, first base Vladdy, Toronto, second base Gleyber Torres, Detroit. Gleyber, damn it.
Good year.
What?
He's having a good year.
He's having a good year.
That's all.
Yeah. Shortstop Jacob Wilson, the Oakland A's or Sacramento A's. Third base Jose Ramirez, Cleveland. Outfielder. The right fielder, number 99. The Judge. Left fielder from Detroit, Riley Green. Center field from Detroit, Javier Baez. Designated hitter, Ryan O'Hearn from Baltimore. In the National League, Catcher Will Smith from the Dodgers. First baseman from the Dodgers.
Good
Freddie
actor.
Freeman. Second base from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Del Marte. Shortstop from the Mets, Lindor. Third baseman from the Padres, Manny Machado. Outfielder, I don't know if he's going to play left or right here because of the next guy, Ronald Acuna Jr., Kyle Tucker. I don't know if he's playing left or right. Center field, Pete Crow Armstrong. Designated here, Shohei Ohtani. You know who didn't make the list there, Zachary? Do you know who didn't make the list?
Juan Soto?
Juan Soto.
Okay.
And that's that.
I think we can end this off right here, Robert.
Folks, I got to shower. I got to make my lunch for tomorrow for work. It's 9:00. We had a dandy of an episode. So if you listened to the 2.5 hours of this episode, we fucking love you.
Thanks, Bob.
He listened to 2 hours. He gets out of work at 7.
Fuck you, Bob.
All right, guys, we're out. Zach, take us out.
Folks, holy shit. That's all that's left to say after that one, folks. 2.5 hours of pure goodness. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Not me, actually. It's my birthday next Tuesday. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Robbie will see you next Tuesday. We are going to get a pool going here for the U.S. Open as well. Bob just reminded me. And good night, folks. Stay sexy, Sports Cave. Fuck you, Bob.